It's the Orioles on Masson, and Birdland is the site here at Camden Yards. This is Game 2 of the 3-game set against Toronto in an absolutely gorgeous evening here at the ballpark. It is Autism Awareness Night here at the ballpark. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne for the Orioles. Disappointing night last night with a couple of unearned runs for Toronto going up on the board. Before this game even gets underway, though, the Orioles have some good news. They have their shortstop back. J.J. Hardy is in the lineup and happy to be so, and he talked about it late this afternoon.
You know, it's been a long week for me. These back spasms are no fun, and I hope they're behind me and I don't have to deal with them again for the rest of the year. I think I'll be 100% when I do something in the game without thinking about it. You know, I think the last step is kind of getting over it mentally, and that won't come until I do something, just kind of a reaction play in the game, and then realize, I'm better.
A persona of stability for the Orioles, J.J. Hardy. They miss him when he is out of there. He is the team leader in that infield. You see what he's done over the years. 13, he played 159 games with that great fielding percentage. 158 in 2012. 2011, 129 games. He's just somebody you expect to have out there and want out there every day for both the bat and especially for that Gold Glove. And Jim Palmer, great to see him back in the lineup.
Well, it really is, and he makes the ball club better. The least amount of errors in the history of baseball. You're already missing Machado. Now you take Hardy. But I remember Dallas Green used to always say, it was a pitcher, obviously general manager. He said the 2-out shortstop. When there's 2 outs and the ball's hit to that guy, everybody runs off the field, and that's what JJ's been able to do. And again, not only the home runs. I thought, I look at the numbers today. I said, well, he probably hits most of his home runs here at Camden Yards, but it's about 50-50, so he can get him anywhere. He gives him stability, and he's just a steady Eddie, the type of guy. So they're a better team when he's playing.
And they hope to get Manny Machado back. Now, what's he doing down in Sarasota? Well, simulated game today, and Buck Showalter told us where he's at.
I talked to Dave Walker, who's handling the rehab down there, and they're upbeat. He's going to full sprint on Monday, and he's had no setbacks. I'm pretty sure he probably snuck in a sprint somewhere in that complex today, Gary. But it's progressing real well. Santana pitched against him, so did Troy Patton. Almanzar, the Rule 5 pick, participated in that game too. But I've participated in a lot of simulated games in the past. How about you? So it won't be long for Manny to be out and play some games, and we'll see his happy face here. Make my face happier. How about you?
Well, he could only smile. The smile means obviously they're feeling pretty good about the progress.
Yeah, it's an interesting spring training because until the last 10 or 12 days, he was doing everything except actually cutting and turning on bases. So I think there's a tendency, especially when the club off to a 4-6 start, he's going to rush back. I mean, they're not going to rush him because this is a serious injury. That little ligament they had to repair, it's kind of like Tommy John. You want to let it get seated, and you don't want to actually have him out for the whole year, and that's why they've been really cautious.
So, Manny Machado coming along and J.J. Hardy back. Good news for the Orioles. Now they'll try and make it even better by putting a W up against Toronto. Game 2 coming up. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. By Angry Orchard Hard Cider. Branch out. And by AT&T. Rethink possible. Boy, what a gorgeous night here at Camden Yards. 69 degrees. Clear skies, little breeze blowing out towards center and left to start the game. Visit trainsearch.com to find your local train comfort specialist dealer. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Jays tonight. They left Cabrera, Izturis, and Bautista. Encarnacion, Lynn, Navarro, Rasmus, Lowry, and Goins. Last night a 1-for-4 single and a run in a ball game dominated by pitching.
And take a look at the mix of the pitches. Bud Norris, you can see 3-pitch pitcher. He will throw the 2-seam and the 4-seam fastball, so that gives him a little bit of a different look. Breaking ball, that's a slider. Has a curveball, doesn't throw it very much. And the one thing that they tried to encourage him in spring training, got a great story we'll tell as the game proceeds, tried to get him to use that changeup. Didn't use it that much through 15 straight fastballs in 5 innings where he gave up 5 runs against the Tigers. So there's the one start. And Gary, you look at a number of the 5 innings, only retired the first batter in 2 of them. In fact, Chen's numbers are down. Jimenez a little bit better at 64%, but 40% of the time just isn't going to get it.
No, that we talk about that all the time for a reason. When leadoff batters get on base, the percentage of runs scores in that inning just jump by about 2/3. So you really have to get the leadoff man out if you're going to be successful in a ball game, as Jim knows well, and that's something right now the Orioles are struggling with. So we'll see if Norris can pick that pace up. 53% ground ball outs for Norris last season, and he will face Cabrera, red hot hitter. Melky Cabrera's got an 11-game hit streak going, including a 1-for-4 that he had in the ball game last night. Cabrera's trying to become one of the few Jays ever to begin a season with a 12-game hit streak. If he can do it tonight, Norris is going to try and deny that. We're ready to go. And the pitch will be taken for a strike, and we're underway on this gorgeous Saturday evening here in Baltimore.
Yeah, average fastball is probably going to be somewhere 91 to 93, slider about 85, and so there's 2 quick strikes. And what he did against the Tigers, it was a sunny day. You were there, Gary. It looked like it was kind of still kind of cold, maybe having trouble grip the ball. And there's a little slider. There's the 85-mile-per-hour slider. But not only did he not get the leadoff guys gone, he got into those hitters' counts. Don't want to do that against the Tigers. Certainly don't want to do that against the Jays.
And you can see him coming out being a very aggressive pitcher here to the first hitter. 0-2 delivery on the way, and he'll get Cabrera on the strikeout. There he starts it out with a K.
Well, this is a new pitching coach, both in the bullpen, Dom Sheedy, Dave Wallace, the pitching coach, and it's be aggressive. And when you are aggressive and you throw strike 1 instead of that, and we saw it last year, that fastball being 3-4 inches off the corner, challenge them. You have good enough stuff. Get into those counts. Get the hitters to expand the zone.
And he gets the first out in a hurry. That'll bring up Izturis, who continues to get starts now at second base. Izturis will take the pitch for a strike. Izturis had an 0-for-4 in the ball game last night, but he has been one of the solid bats in the first couple of weeks. Izturis hitting .333. He's behind on the count in a hurry, 0-2. Right-handed .357, left-handed .313. And the outfield will move in a couple of steps against Izturis. 0-2. Breaking ball. That will miss in the dirt. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, he's thrown about, 8, 9 pitches, and he's already established all 3 pitches. You don't have to do it, but if you have command and you get ahead, not a bad eye. So 7. There we go. Change up, sliders, and fastballs.
And you get an idea of what's working for you, don't you?
Yeah, I always thought when we get into daylight savings time, which is now pretty much the whole season, they have trouble seeing until the lights really take effect. So you have about 3, almost 4 innings to really challenge them, because they're going to see better in about an hour
when the lights take effect. Yeah. Dave Wallace, the pitching coach for the Orioles. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Izturis.
And don't think that he hasn't noticed he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2.
He did not walk a batter in that game. Ground ball to short. Hardy back in. Hardy will make the play, and that's going to make him feel real good along with the rest of the Orioles.
Well, take a look at the defense. Two-time Gold Glover just made the play at shortstop. Scope with a couple of errors. Lama, Dorsey, Davis, Clevenger. Weeder getting the night off. That's the infield. And then Lowe, Jones, and Markakis. And what did J.J. Hardy say? I want to get out there, test it. And he got a little tester.
He had to move, had to make a strong throw. Did. Thought his comment appropriate that you heard at the top of the show. When I get out there and make a play and don't even think about it, then I'll know I'm 100%. Here's Bautista. Bautista had an 0 for 3 in the ballgame last night. Right now he's got an 0 for 10. He has had the full home run, 6 RBIs, but very low average, and that's going to catch the outside corner. Paul Emmel has the plate.
It kind of gives you an idea when you look at the power zone where he likes it. Pretty much in the middle of the plate, pull hitter. As we told you, his 4 home runs all hit the left field. A couple of singles to right.
And he swung. He's gone. He knew it. So what an inning for Norris as he comes out with 2 strikeouts. Retires the side in order. 95-mile-an-hour fastball to finish him off. Those of you who are watching us from Urbana, Maryland, out there where the beautiful farm country is, about 7.5 miles southeast of Frederick. Welcome, Urbana, all part of Birdland. Take a look at the Orioles lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Markakis, Cruz, and Davis. Jones, Clevenger, and Hardy. Lombardozzi, Lowe, and Jonathan Scope. Cruz last night had a 1 for 4 in a night where the Orioles struggled for hits.
And look at Drew Hutchison, fastball. I mean, this is an astounding number, 80% of the time, but he's got a good one. 2 years removed from Tommy John surgery, breaking ball. That's the slider. It's 17 of the times, and you can see every once in a while, very much like Bud Norris, will work in the changeup. So this will be his 3rd start of the year. Pitched well against Tampa, didn't pitch well against the Yankees. And again, a guy very much like Bud Norris, somewhere around 92 to 93 miles per hour. His windup reminds me a little of Kevin Gausman, Orioles' #1 draft choice. Very erect, but maybe not quite as tall.
And Nick Markakis will lead it off against him and will take the pitch for a ball. Here again, as was true last night, the Orioles face a pitcher who's making his way back from surgery, Tommy John surgery. This is his 3rd start, but it's his 3rd since June of 2012. So he too has missed a lot of time. So the Orioles will get a look at Hutchinson. He's making his 3rd career start against the Orioles. Last time the Orioles saw him was back in May of 2012.
And he struck out 9 and pitched very well. Got a no decision.
He's 1-0 lifetime against the Orioles. That is in there too. Markakis, Nick with a 1 for 4 in the ball game last night. Orioles coming in with a 4-6 record. Toronto 6-5, starting the day tied for first in the East. And Nick late on a swing on a pitch probably out of the strike zone.
Yeah, that's not one he wants to swing at. You take it at 3-1. You probably get a better pitch. Now all of a sudden he brings in all 3 pitches to play.
John Gibbons and Buck Showalter, the two skippers of these teams, have faced each other 19 times in the course of the year. 2-2 delivery to Markakis towards short. Perfectly positioned as Goins. And again, the defensive shift matters.
Yeah, take a look at their defense, and Cabrera, Rasmus, and Batista, pretty good outfield. They can all go get them. They all throw well. Laurie, Goins, with Reyes on the DL with a hamstring problem. Asturis, as Gary Thorne told you, playing second base. Encarnacion, best position over at first, and of course hitting. And then Deoner Navarro doing the catching, a veteran behind the dish.
And here is Nelson Cruz moving up into the number 2 spot. That's all the way to the backstop. He has faced Hutchinson 3 times, has an 0 for 3 against this young 23-year-old right-hander. Talked about him having the Tommy John surgery. I read some story. I don't remember who wrote it the other day, but I thought it was interesting, calling Tommy John surgery now an epidemic in Major League Baseball. That's going to go to third base. Lowry's got it, and there are 2 down.
Well, 13 pitchers since opening day are slated to have Tommy John, and you know, if you do it, James Andrews, one of the foremost orthopedics, says he thinks it's kids playing baseball all year round, throwing breaking balls. I mean, everybody's looking for the reasons.
Yeah. But if you don't have it, you can't play anymore.
And then
it's you almost have to have Tommy John surgery.
Well, and the reason they don't wait just a whole lot of time. I mean, they didn't do it when I pitched, and of course Tommy John was the first guy that Frank Jobe did it on. It works.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, about 93% of the time is successful. So if you get one of those little ulnar collateral ligament tears, and you know, some guys will try to. Matt Harvey last year, terrific young pitcher, he was going to do it, and then he goes, you know what, got to have it done. It'll make it stronger.
Chris Davis at the plate, 2 down, nobody on. Davis with a 1 for 4 in the ball game last night. Still looking for that first home run, but hitting the baseball. He's got an 8-game streak, 355 average, 6 RBIs, a double, and Chris trying to loft one on the long ball here at home against the right-hander. Hutchinson with the 0-2 delivery to him, and it'll be up high. Hutchinson in his career, since he's pitched so little for so long, left-handers hit 254 and right-handers 253, and each side's had 4 home runs against him.
Well, there's his pitching coach, Pete Walker, looking on, and
close.
Yeah, he was ready to. If they get the right hand goes up, Paul Emmel doing the umpiring behind the plate. If that right hand went up, he was heading for the dugout.
Jays believe in Hutchinson. They have a legitimate young quality starter. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way to Chris, and Davis will take the pitch inside. Moved him back a little bit. He'll take it full. 3 balls and 2 strikes off that fastball. Good crowd on hand, still coming in tonight. Probably a real big walk-up for the Orioles tonight with a great weather day. 3-2 pitch, and Davis is on. So Hutchinson delivers the 2-out walk. Fans on hand here tonight. It'll be a cool evening in the mid-50s, just beautiful by the time the night's over, but starting out on that 69-degree mark. Here's Adam.
It'll be 80-ish tomorrow.
Yeah,
around 80.
Afternoon game tomorrow, don't forget. It'll be a beautiful day to be at the ballpark. Day game 1:30 for O's Extra, for the ball game rather, 1 o'clock for O's Extra, and the ball game at 1:30.
Yeah, Jimenez trying to get his first win for the Orioles, and Mark Burley, who's 2-0, he will pitch for the Jays.
Adam Jones with a 1 for 6 off Hutchinson. 2 down, nobody on, and the breaking ball is in there for a strike.
And the other thing, when Mark Burley pitches, don't get here late, because you could be in the 3rd inning if you're about 20 minutes late.
He hustles the game along. Burley likes to pitch quickly, and he likes to throw strikes. He is a hit this kind of pitcher.
And off to a great start, yeah.
Yep. Here's the 0-1 delivery to Jones, and a swing and a miss through that one. 92 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's not a pitch. When Adam chases right around the letters, right, that black line under Orioles, that's when he gets into trouble. But he must have had enough deception and movement, because that ball was pretty much inside middle. Just couldn't get to it.
Adam with 9 strikeouts, but he's also picked up 3 walks already this season. 0-2, runners going. Outside, throws right on the money. No tag. Wow. A fine throw by Navarro, but his Torres, who covered the bag, may have been a little too far behind it.
Yeah, he slides prematurely and then gets the hand in. Now, Macer thinks he tags him there. The throw from Navarro certainly beats him, but I think the hand got in. John Gibbons, the manager, out there. See, he already the tag went through, and John Gibbons is going out here, and don't think it's not going to slow the game. It's actually a very good call by the umpire. Terrific slide. And what he's doing, he's going to go in. He's going to wait for DeMarlo Hale to get the sign from Sal Butera, and then he'll decide. And you know what John said? He said, you know what? You shouldn't have somebody telling you it's right or wrong. You ought to just go out there if you think he's out. Tell the umpire, I think you missed it. Check it. But he tagged him prematurely, and the hand gets in there.
So, you know, in the past, I think the umpire would have called that out. But knowing there's going to be a replay look, you're going to make sure the tag's put on. The neighborhood type tag situation in those stolen base cases has to be applied. You got to apply the tag. Chris gets a stolen base. He had 4 last year. And Jones plunks it to right field. It may matter. Bautista's got an arm. And Bobby Dickerson will hold the runner. Good throw to the cutoff man, Encarnacion. So Jones delivers, and the Orioles cover the corners here with 2 outs.
Yeah, nice hitting by Adam Jones. Took that slider and just let it travel a little bit deeper, and watch him just cover the outside part of the plate. And then the bad news, Camden Yards with a good throwing outfield. The scouting reports tell you Bobby Dickerson, the third base coach, that Bautista can throw.
So the Orioles will try and get a run in. This is Bobby Dickerson. His job to read those outfielders, know what they have, and then see what they're doing during the game. And that will leave it up to Clevenger, who gets the job behind the plate tonight with Wieters going tomorrow. And an RBI chance for him, and the pitch will be taken for a ball. There weren't many chances in last night's game. The Orioles had a 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position, and the Jays were 0 for 2, yet they won the ball game. Virtually every number that you looked at was negative for the Jays except the final score. Jones back, Davis a little jogging around at third in case that ball gets away.
Well, Steve Clevenger, I'm probably a little surprised when he looked at the lineup, seeing him hitting 5th, but he had a great spring at over 400. Lifetime in the minors, 311 hitter, 1 for 3 in these situations, runners in scoring position.
First and third occupied, 1-0 count. Hutchinson's delivery. Hutchinson got himself in this jam by surrendering that 2-out walk to Davis. That extended the inning, and now the Orioles with an opportunity to do something with it and get the early lead.
Yeah, I look at it as Chris did a nice job of earning the walk, because when you don't have any home runs and you hit 53 the year before, sometimes you chase. He didn't.
He's walked 3 in each of his first 2 starts. 2-0 delivery on the way, and there's an off-speed delivery. Pulled the string on him, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, you got a young pitcher and a veteran catcher, and that's why he throws a changeup, and it's a good one. Bottom dropped out of it. And that sets up the rest of the at-bat, because if you're Steve Clevenger, you don't have any idea what he'll throw because of that pitch.
Clevenger, the 27-year-old, back up for the Orioles this year behind Wieters. 2-1, long hold, runner not going at first, ball put in the air to center. Rasmus, and that will do it in the inning. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 are left on base. Fans still coming into the ballpark here to see this beautiful evening of baseball. Up the first weekend home series for the O's. It'll be a 1:35 afternoon matchup tomorrow right here at Oriole Park. Celebrate a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and it is indeed expected to be that. And an affordable day out, family and friends right here at the Yard. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD for tomorrow. Back on the mound, 13 pitches thrown in that first inning. Couple of strikeouts for Bud Norris. Couple of games affecting the American League East today. The Yankees beat Boston 7-4. Tampa Bay shut out Cincinnati. 1-0 in that one. We'll look at that a little later. And a strike taken.
Alex Cobb pitching after Price last night. 2-1 victory. Almost went the distance.
Orioles are going to see David Price in the coming week when the Rays come to town. Here is Encarnacion, who in the ball game had a 1-for-4. last night to open it up, and he'll ground that one foul off Norris.
Well, 36 home runs last year, 60 strikeouts, 88 walks, 288 average, and doesn't like it like Bautista likes it a little bit more on the inside. And you can see, I mean, this guy, great power, right center, left center, very, very quick bat.
1-2. Wow, look out, Bud. That was right through the box, and a leadoff single for Encarnacion.
Well, you tell me, 1 ball, 2 strikes, you're ahead. Do you want to put the slider here, right down the middle? Boy, you better get ready to duck. And if that ball's a little bit lower, he would not have had enough time. Look how quickly the ball gets back up the middle. And again, it's hit to his arm side, so it's very hard to get the glove up. Very fortunate that ball went into center field.
The Encarnacion is a 300 hitter here in this ballpark, continues that average. Now with the leadoff man on, here's Adam Lynn. Lynn is the DH in the ball game tonight. He and Encarnacion exchange spots. The Encarnacion going to first. Pitch is taken up high. Lynn with an 0-for-4 in the game last night. He's got power though. Looking down to third base. Luis Rivera down there, third base coach. Encarnacion over there at first. Infield moved around a little, not a full shift though. That's there for a strike. Anthony's 1-1.
Well, he's a very difficult guy to get out because he uses the whole field. We saw it last night, a little unfortunate. They moved Scope right over to shortstop and put the shift on, which they don't do with a runner on, and he lined right to him, but he hit the ball very hard, and you can see right there, big swing. For Bud Norris to be successful, he just has to figure out, how do I change speeds and stay out of the middle of the plate? It's what got him in trouble against the Tigers in Detroit.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Not a big lead at first base. The ball will be fouled back again. Lynn, that's the power cut you've seen in those last 2 swings, and he can drive it. 1-2. Lynn again looking just to see if the runner's going to be going. He's got that big hole between first and second with Davis holding the bag. The outfield pretty much straight away on him. Clevenger sets up here away, and that's where he got it. Perfect ground ball. Hardy 1, relay 2.
Well, a little different than he did to Encarnacion. Didn't bury the slider 1 and 2 this time with 2 strikes. Perfect changeup. What can I do to induce a ground ball? Try to get him down out on his front foot. So just watch this ball die. And again, right off the end of the bat, tailor-made, especially when you hit it to the Gold Glover.
And ideal with the shift not being on against Lynn, leaving Hardy on the shortstop side of the bag, right where he needed to be. 2 down, nobody on. Here is Navarro. Norris last year, 53% of the outs off ground balls. That is a strike. The catcher, a 1-for-3, and the only RBI picked up in the ball game last night.
And that should have been a double play. Flaherty unable to make a good throw. And
0-1 is fouled away, and Norris quickly gets ahead of him. 0-2. There's Ryan, who's been playing second and first and a little third.
Well, he adds so much to the club because he can do that. He can play the outfield. Probably if you told him we need you to catch, he could.
0-2
Yeah.
delivery is going to miss outside. Clevenger gives Norris the high glove sign right there. That's right where he wanted it. He wanted Navarro to maybe bite it one away, and he wouldn't do it. Now he moves back in. That pitch will be down low, 2-2. Most of these hitters, few at bats. Only Rasmus has had any substantial number of at bats against Norris in the lineup. 2-2 delivery, and that'll be the middle and a base hit. So Navarro is on. 2 hits in the inning, but the double play eliminated that first runner. Now with 2 away, Navarro's at first base. Getting ground balls. That one was just where they ain't. That'll bring up Rasmus. Rasmus does have the most at bats, 4 for 22 lifetime off Norris, including a home run. Starting out with just a 162 batting average on the season for the center fielder.
Yeah, big night on Thursday with a home run and a couple of hits, but the numbers don't lie. There are the numbers you talked about, 182.
Blue Jays come into this ball game struggling at the plate. They are 14th in batting average out of 16 for John Gibbons' team. They do have the home runs. They've started the day tied for third with 12, but their on base percentage way down. That'll be in the dirt. The Orioles have had similar problems with their offense, not with the average, but with the on base percentage. The Orioles are 13th in on base percentage. The average at 263, however, is second. Second in average, 8th in runs.
Yeah, the number that's killing them, not the home runs, as you mentioned. Orioles 7, Blue is that 176 with runners in scoring position number.
And a ground ball towards second base. Arbidozi's got it over to Davis for the out. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Dominique Gray from Prince Frederick has won 500 for being selected. She gets 500 more for every Orioles home run hit in the game. Play the Orioles scratch off for the Maryland Lottery for your chance to be a contestant of the game and win a trip to see the O's play at Wrigley or perhaps a World Series game. Learn more at mdlottery.com/Orioles. Good luck, Dominique. A lot of young fans on hand here in this weekend ball game. Home run wise for the Orioles, they've picked up 7, have given up 12 so far on the year. Hutchinson worked to J.J. Hardy, who gets a nice hand getting back into the lineup after being out 5 of the last 6 games. And as you saw, tested at shortstop on a ground ball already tonight. 1-0 delivery to him, and Hardy will take it down low. So J.J. will have to kind of work back to game conditioning after being out that much. He's had only 15 at-bats in the 4 games he's played in.
Yeah, well, if he gets a fastball inside middle, he might have his first home run, but he doesn't. He gets a slider.
And a good one. Hutchinson,
Yeah,
you keep that ball down there. You get it done.
Yep. Well, again, veteran catcher. We've already seen him in fastball counts, and that was that slider and changeup to about the first 5 hitters.
Hardy will take that for a strike. Paul Emmel is the quickest umpire in the history of baseball with his strike call. If you watch carefully and don't blink, you may see that right arm shoot out there and then come right straight back in. Here's the 2-2 pitch. No play.
Yeah, that's tough on the rotator cuff. I mean, of course, if you're pitching, you don't really care. You just want that arm to go up.
Paul's got a quick one, boy.
And then there are a couple of other umpires in 15, 20 seconds.
Yep. 2-2, slow roller. It'd be a tough play. Cut off. Lowry throws it. And the energy bunny gets the out.
Yeah. Certainly not running out of any battery power. Really nice play. Hutchinson, he tries to actually wave at it. What's this right arm thing? I mean, the good news is, at least for him. And then Lowry getting to it very quickly. Really good pitch. Slider low and away. You figure you're going to get that result. Of course, JJ's thinking maybe I could get an infield hit, but Brett says, not happening on my watch.
Good play. Here's Lombardozzi. Lombardozzi, first pitch right at Bautista. And there are 2 down. Let's take a look at our Major League Notebook tonight on our East Winds page. Tampa Bay Rays, Eric Bedard, former Orioles, now in the bullpen for them. Cesar Ramos has moved up to the rotation with the injury, creating the opportunity for Ramos. The Yankees beat the Red Sox today 7-4. McCann 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Kuroda, strong performance for the Yankees. And the Rays beat the Reds. Cobb, 7 innings, no runs, no walks, 5 Ks. So those are games affecting the American League East, already finished. Bedard signing that deal and then agreeing to go to the minors didn't take long before they got him back up. Matt Moore, of course, is the injured one, and they're still not sure what they're going to do, whether Moore's going to need Tommy John or not.
Well, they think he has it's not definitive, but maybe a little partial tear. He had an elbow problem, missed a month last year. Said it actually doesn't hurt as much. They went to James Andrews, who's their team physician, and I think they're kind of weighing. I believe he's coming to Baltimore with the club, and he's going to throw on Monday. So I don't know if it's going to be catch. I don't think it's going to be a simulated game.
David Lowe. David's missed time, of course, with the concern that he might have a concussion problem. The diagnosis, however, was no. So back in and playing again as Buck Showalter starts to get some of his people back. And that ball put up in the air to shallow left field. Third base, Lowry back and puts it away, and that was a fair ball. So a 1-2-3 inning. Hutchinson setting the Orioles down. We'll go to the third. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. By Coons, when you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. And by visitannapolis.org. Find it here. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer here at Camden Yards. Scoreless ball game. Jim Presley not here, the Orioles hitting coach. We wish Jim well. He's had a case of the flu that sent him home last night and not back at the ballpark today. Einer Diaz, the assistant hitting coach, is taking over in Jim's stead until Jim can get back. So, Jim, we hope you're feeling better. This flu is ugly.
And I didn't see Brian Mattis. He also had flu-like symptoms, and they were actually, I don't know if he ended up going to the hospital or staying there.
He went to the hospital last night but did not stay overnight, according to Buck Showalter. And we're not sure if he's at the ballpark. Buck never talks about that. He doesn't want the opposing team to know who's available and who isn't. So
maybe he's here.
He may be here somewhere. He may be.
Or maybe his uniform's just out there on the
That's
bench.
right.
And while we're talking about the MASH unit, we want to send our best to Fred Manfra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, longtime radio, TV personality, recovering from hip surgery. I actually talked to him today, said he's feeling a lot better. So
it's great. Great to hear it's going well. And get back to the ballpark. A 3-0 count. And taken for a strike. It's not easy to walk Brett Lowry.
Well, last night he got into hitters counts, and there's a term, you're hitterish. That's one of Joe Madden's. Hitterish, well, it didn't have to be hitterish there. Hitterish is when you're hitting. And skitterish is when you're expanding the zone, and that's what he did last night.
So 2 leadoff men on now in 3 innings. Win autographed Orioles memorabilia from Masson all week long. Just be sure to follow Masson on Twitter. Use hashtag MassonOrioles in your tweets to be automatically entered to win. Leadoff man Encarnacion taken out on a double play in the second. Now Laurie on, and here is Goins, the shortstop. He had an 0 for 3 in the ballgame last night. They played bunt. He tries it. He had Jonathan Scope moving in at third base, and not a very good effort. Fouled hard back into the screen.
Yeah, I think that was a bunt for a base hit, where when came into last night at 1 for 19, and right here he ought to be thinking, how do I get Laurie, who has very good speed, to second base?
See if he meant it. 0-1 delivery, and he didn't. It is foul back. 1 for 22 over the last 10 games.
Yeah, when you're scuffling, I mean, it's. You talked about leadoff hitters getting on. So what? 2 out of 5 his first start. 2 out of 3 tonight. Get the first guy out, they score about 15% of the time. If you get the first guy gets on, it's close to 50.
Yep.
And that's not a good number if you could pitch.
Ooh, that is knocked down. Second base. They'll get the out. And Norris appears to be all right. And a fine defensive play on a hard hit ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure he would have gotten up the middle because Hardy's shifted that way, but this is a real nice play. And you're going to see it real time right there. I think it gets into the glove, maybe the part of the leg. Didn't have to hurry the throw. And then when he does, you can see the off balance throw, and JJ makes a nice play to get the force.
And in this day and age with the replays and the rules on transferring, you could see Hardy making sure he held on to that ball in the glove. JJ, like most infielders now around the Keystone, you've got to hang on to it. You got to show the umpires you got it. So they get the out. Now runner at first base, top of the order. Here's Cabrera. He struck out his first time up. And Melky Cabrera take the pitch down low for a ball. Big numbers. Not only the average, but the 4 home runs, 5 RBIs that he's picked up so far. Cabrera's never been off to a better start than this one. Cabrera, if he can get a base hit tonight and go 12 straight with a hit to start a season, would match the mark that Vernon Wells set back in 2006 for a 12-game hit streak to start the year. 1-0 delivery to him, and that'll be up high. And a 2-0 count on Cabrera.
Now you can see Bud sometimes when he gets into the stretch, and again, leadoff hitters 2 of the last 3 innings, so immediately he's into it. He just jumps a little bit. So he's at the point in his career when you just got to try to slow that down and figure, why am I getting out and I can't get my arm out in front, and that's why the ball's not into the zone.
And he'll miss again.
And then he makes an adjustment and then actually gets too much on top of it and throws ball 3.
So a 3-0 count. Scoreless ball game. We're in the 3rd inning.
And he may be swinging. Wouldn't be surprised. Already one more home run than he hit all last year.
3-0 delivery to him, and he will take, and it is in there for a strike. Well, Melky Cabrera adding to what is already a very offensive ball club, which has been quiet. And his bat, he and his Taurus, 2 hot hitters on the team, batting 1-2 in the order. 3-1, runners going, and that's going to be blooped, and a base hit center field. And Goins will get to 3rd, as he was already at 2nd when the ball ended up going over Lombardozzi's head. So 1 down and 2 on.
A nice hit, or at least run and hit, because that's what it is. You start the runner. If it's a ball, he takes it. If it's a strike, just hits it back up the middle. Didn't hit it well. And if Lombardozzi can catch it, it's going to be a double play. But right there, the minute he clears the second baseman, he's off to 3rd.
So there it is, 12-game hit streak for Cabrera. He does indeed equal that mark set by Vernon Wells in 2006 to start the season. Now, more importantly for Norris, looking for that ground ball to get a double play, as Torres grounded out his first time up. As Torres 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position so far. This is where the Jays have really struggled, as Jim mentioned. Ball put up in the air, down the line, long run. David Lowe will get there, put it away, and the runner's got to stay at 3rd base. Big out on his Taurus. Well, it's not too late to upgrade your summer with an Orioles partial season plan. Exclusive orange carpet benefits, saving over the cost of single game tickets. You get a lot of extras and VIP treatment. You can do so for plans with as few as 11 games. Pricing to fit any budget. For details, Orioles.com/season. That'll bring up Bautista. So early in the ball game, here's one of those moments.
Yep.
Strikeout victim, 0 for his last 11.
Yeah, he could not have made better pitches to Jose Bautista than he made in the first. Can he do it here in the 3rd?
2 down and 2 on in a scoreless ball game. And Bautista will take that strike on the outside corner. He wasn't happy in the first at bat with a couple of calls, and he's not happy with that one.
Well, that had extra life. A couple of times he's gone from 92 to 93 to 95. And that was one of those 95s, and it had great late life.
0-1 delivery to him. Bautista with a big cut fouls it back. And Clevenger.
And there's another one. So after going, 4 straight balls to Lowry, 2-1 on Goins, 3-1 on Cabrera, made a great pitch to Astros. He now gets 0-2. And this is off the glove and the mask. Big swing, but again 95.
Fans applauding for a strikeout. Goins at 3rd base. Cabrera's at 1st. He's running in the dirt. He'll get 2nd. So a stolen base will be picked up by Cabrera, putting 2 in scoring position with 2 away. Cabrera gets his 2nd stolen base. He is 2 for 2. Jays running a bit here in the 2nd inning. Goins, of course, took off from first base on that base hit by Cabrera.
Well, you're always going to run more on Steve Clevenger than you are Matt Wieters. They like the way he receives the ball, but it's not easy to do. Not the arm strength.
Bautista's gone. You saw where he set the target up. It was up, and that's exactly where Norris threw it and gets the K. No runs, 1 hit, 2 are left on base. Bautista goes down swinging. So much to see and do on the beaches and islands of Sarasota, Florida's Gulf Coast, and the spring training home, of course, to the Orioles. Go beyond the stadium to the top-rated beaches in the USA. You can make your plans by going to visitsarasota.org. No score. Game starting very much like the ball game last night with the pitchers dominating. And that pitch, a slider, will miss for a ball. Jonathan Schoop will lead it off. Battery mates talking in the dugout for the Orioles. Schoop with a 4-game hit streak, 1 for 3. Was he nodding his head, or was he nodding his head?
He was. Well, after that last sequence of pitches to Jose Bautista, whatever you say, bud, just keep doing what you're doing, bud.
Okay.
I really like that, bud.
Okay. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and that's a strike in the inside corner. Schoop has picked the pace up, 6 for his last 15, covering a 4-game situation after a slow start at the plate. 1-2 delivery on the way to him, and that'll be foul back. It'll stay at a ball and 2 strikes on Jonathan Schoop.
So we've seen Hutchison. I mean, he's used all his pitches. He's gone from 90 to 93, a little bit extra. As the game has gone along, he's kind of done what Bud Norris has, added a little bit. There's the pitching breakdown. So a lot of this has to do with Navarro behind the plate.
Ooh. Right over the helmet into the backstop on one that got away. Schoop just kind of ducked down. Now he's checking to make sure the top is still in his helmet.
Yeah, I think this might have been a 4-seamer. You pull down, and sometimes you don't get on top of it. A zoom ball.
Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and we'll foul that one back.
And then, wouldn't you know it, the low and away slide.
Son of a gun.
One at your gourd, and then the other one tried to buckle your knees, low and away.
Perfect setup. 22-year-old Jonathan Schoop. 2-ball, 2-strike count, 7th pitch of the at-bat, and it will be taken inside. So he takes it on the 40th pitch to a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Last year with the Orioles, played in just 5 games. Got in his 14 at-bats, first big league appearances. 3-2 pitch, Schoop goes down, and that's the first out of the inning.
What a confidence builder that is. Navarro puts down slider. You're only, I mean, you got to understand how young Hutchison is. He's only 23. But it's a confidence booster when you're able to make this pitch, and a lot of it has to do with your catcher believing in you, putting the fingers down. Even though it's only a suggestion, it seems to be the right ones tonight.
Here is Nick Markakis, who grounded out his first time up. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Nick now with a 1 for 5 in these 2 games so far. Nick has done well against Toronto, having hits in 9 of the last 11 games that these 2 teams have played against one another. And the outfields have started really to move over towards left on Nick, giving him that right center field gap. He's taking so many balls that way, they're trying to cut those off. Take a look at our Jeep inside the numbers.
Oh, there are the home runs by right fielders, because Frank Robinson with 586 lifetime. One behind Singy, Kenny Singleton. And then Albert Bell, who didn't really play here very much because of the hip injury. 5-year deal, and couldn't really fulfill that contract.
And Nick wondering, along with Oriole fans, whether this will be a year where the power comes back to him. 2-2 delivery on the way to him, and Nick will foul that the other way. It'll hold the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good catch by a fan, warmly received by the crowd. For Markakis, .297 hitter lifetime against Toronto, and he does have 12 home runs against them. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery. Hutchinson will get it in and towards that hole, and that's a base hit. Just hard enough to get into the outfield, and Nick is on.
Yeah, part of it, and you talked about the outfield, but if you're going to pitch a guy down and away at 92, 93, why not play over there? I mean, you can do all the shifts you want. I mean, there's your shortstop right there. And and this pitch is going to be down and away, and he just hits it to where the shortstop was. Except they expect him to pull, and I don't understand that, because I don't look at Nick Markakis as a pull hitter. Doesn't mean he can't pull the ball. but the majority of his balls seem to be from the second base over.
So the runner on for Cruz, and the pitch will miss. Orioles in the scoreless ball game here in the third inning have their second hit. Jones picked up a single. Cruz grounded out his first time up. 1-0 delivery, and swings through that one.
Yeah, that's a plus slider. Yeah, the numbers we gave you early on, 80% fastballs, and that has not been the case tonight. I mean, it's still up there, but he's used all of them. And the honor to Navarro getting that changeup to be incorporated early in this game.
Short lead at first base for Markakis. The 1-1, and that will be taken down low. And a 2-ball 1-strike count from Hutchinson. Hutchinson, 3 walks in each of the first 2 ball games that he pitched. He has walked 1 so far in this one. He had the win in the opener. Final score against Tampa Bay was 4-2. Took the loss against the Yankees 6-4. And Cruz will foul that straight back into the screen. 2-2.
And a lot of times for young pitchers, and I haven't seen it at all tonight, you start aiming the ball, or maybe you're wild inside the zone, but that has not been the case. The stuff has been outstanding.
They've got a chance to have a pretty darn good pitching staff.
Yeah. Well, Morrow's throwing in 94, 95. Yeah, we already talked about Burley. You know, Dickey's going to give you, as Burley and Dickey gave him over 200 innings.
And Wade McGowan pitched last night. Boy, if he's going to be anything like that this year, what a pleasant surprise that will be on the comeback trail.
And they have a good bullpen.
Yeah, Buck Showalter was talking today about Toronto's bullpen, and he said that's one of their real strengths. He said most teams are trying to get that starter out of there and go into the bullpen, but he said their bullpen is solid.
And we saw that last night with Santos. He throwing 95 with a great slider. Brett Cecil came in, all-star last year.
2-2 delivery, and just misses inside. They're going to have a pleasant problem as their closer, Casey Jansen's on the DL.
Now watch this attempt, and boy, almost the edge.
So when Jansen comes back, who's the closer? Because Santos is a real closer.
Yeah. Well, either one of them. I mean, Jansen was 34 out of 36 last year. That's how good he is.
3-ball, 2-strike count. Runner not going. Ground ball, base hit into left field. Cabrera was way back. He'll get it back in. Cruz is on, and with 1 away, the Orioles have back-to-back singles.
Really nice swing right there. We've seen the good slider. 3-2, you can't be quite as fine because you got to throw a strike. But strength. Take a look at this. I mean, he goes out and gets that. It almost looked like it was down the middle of the plate because that's how strong he is. And when you're that kind of strong, if you don't have that kind of strength, it's probably going to be a ground ball double play.
Pete Walker, the pitching coach, coming out to have a word with his young right-hander. Orioles had 2 on in the first inning with 2 down. They've got 2 on here with only 1 away. They've only had 1 runner over to third base in the ball game. And the Orioles will try right here with Chris Davis up. Chris Davis drew the walk and was stranded at third. Everybody just, whether it's fair or not, waiting for the home run. I mean, that's just the way it is. 1 down. Hutchinson's delivery, foul back. Chris now joins only 2 others. There have been only 2 players in Major League history who've had 50 or more homers in a season and did not hit a home run in their first 10 games the next year. Hack Wilson, 1930 and 31, and Prince Fielder, 2007, 2008. The only 2 to do that after a 50 homer plus season. That will be taken inside, and a 1-ball 1-strike count.
Yeah, even Toronto, what the last 2 years, Adam Jones has hit 14 and Chris has hit 16 home runs. 7 each last year against the Jays.
1-1 the count. Hutchinson's delivery is fouled off down the left field side and out of play.
You can't make a mistake and not get hurt in the middle of the plate to Chris Davis. Any field, I mean left field, center field, right field, you can hit it out anywhere. What you have to hope is you get into these counts and you can get him to chase. And when he's seeing the ball well, he doesn't do that often. I think he got a little bit tired the second half and chased a little bit more than normal.
1-2 delivery to him and goes after one that's off the plate. So Hutchinson gets the big strikeout, 2 down.
Well, exactly what we talked about. Changeup. And it just fools him. Thinks it's going to stay up. And really good arm action. So he reads fastball. Ball doesn't get there when he thinks it is, and he swings right through it.
So now Hutchinson trying to work his way out. Jones will try to be the provider of the RBIs with 2 down. Adam picked up the opposite field single, his first time up. Runners off first and second with 2 down. And Jones on a check swing is fortunate that it goes foul. Otherwise it would have been an easy play at first base. 1 strike count.
It's such an amazing game when you watch it. He hit a good slider down and away into right field with a couple of guys on, but he hit it so hard Batista got to it quickly. They couldn't score a run, and what's the first pitch back? Another slider. You just never ever know in this game, and I think a lot of it has to do with the veteran catcher. Just because you hit one of them means maybe make a little bit better pitch, and there's another one.
Navarro knows how to call a game. That's why he's here. He will really help the staff, especially a youngster like the 23-year-old Hutchinson who's on the mound here today. He will, by and large, just let the game be called by the catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Markakis and Cruz the base runners, and Jones will foul that one back.
Well, there's one. If it's a little lower, it's going to be a 3-run home run. Now their backup catcher Eric Kratz, I wonder if we'll see him tomorrow. Big guy they got out of the Philly organization.
John Givens not saying today about the lineup for tomorrow, but Showalter did, saying Wieters would be back in. 1-2. And Jones will take that one out. Adam has had an 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, so he's looking for his first hit in that department. Now you see the 3 walks, 10 games last season. His 3rd walk was in the 27th game. That's good news for Adams because it means he's laying off some of those pitches away and getting better balls to hit. 2-2 delivery, and there's the one on the outside corner.
I don't know.
He struck the side out after giving up the 1-out singles to Markakis and Cruz, and it remains scoreless. The ball game in a hurry.
Yeah. Well, throw it and duck. That's we used to yell at guys. And right there, Hardy right after the back spasm, so he gets a test. Then the slider, Encarnacion, takes aim at Bud Norris. This time Goins hits him, but able to get the force out. So there is 48 pitches. You'll take 16. So again, the only thing he really needs to change, certainly not the runs allowed, it's just maybe get the first batter out. 2 out of 3 times they've reached.
Outing against Detroit, he averaged a little over 20 pitches per inning. They're trying to keep that down. Encarnacion will lead it off, then Lind and Navarro to follow. Encarnacion had a single his first time up. We go to the 4th inning. Each team with 3 hits. That one drilled to center. Jones going back, lines it up, and puts it away. There is a leadoff out. It's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag MASSANORioles for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. One away. That'll bring Lind up and into a double play, the designated hitter in this ball game. Lind has been a very tough out for Oriole pitchers, hitting safely in 20 out of the last 22 ball games against the Orioles, and will take that pitch for a strike.
Yeah, this is a pretty wide plate by Paul Emma. I really thought that last pitch to Adam Jones was probably off the corner, so you're getting maybe balls an inch or so outside, so take advantage of it. There's another one, might have had the corner. Certainly gets you in the swing mode if you're a hitter.
0-2 count on Lind. Shift on against him. Right there again, only this time a little bit further outside. There you see the shift. They put the third baseman, the Orioles do. Jonathan Scope out into shallow right field. Leave Hardy, the shortstop, on the other side. 1-2 delivery to him, and that's tapped that way, and that's a base hit.
Wow.
So you just go against the shift, and he'll pick up the single with 1 away. Shift happens. On Monday, the Orioles begin a 3-game series against the American League East rival, the Rays. So on Tuesday, don't miss the season's first Ollie's Bargain Night presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. And again this year, for every Tuesday home game, all upper reserve seats are just $9 in advance. So gather up family and friends, enjoy an affordable night out at the park. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD.
I echo your sentiments actually on that shift.
Echo.
If you're going to throw, I mean, that was a perfect pitch, except nobody's playing over there.
That's right. Here's Navarro. Navarro, a base hit his first time up. 4 hits now for the Jays, and working against the left-handers on that outside part of the plate. Norris had big troubles against the lefties last year. They hit .315 off him and had 16 of the 17 home runs that he gave up. So John Gibbons, of course, has loaded this lineup with left-handed hitters, either because they are that way naturally or are switch hitters. There's another little chopper. Davis goes back to the bag. Norris gets over, and they'll get the out. Runner to second, 2 down.
Well, that's why it's so important, and we've seen it with Hutchison to establish his changeup, but that was a terrific changeup. And I told you I was going to tell you the story. Bud Norris pitched in spring training, had a very good spring. And they played in Fort Myers against the Twins, wind blowing in 30 miles per hour. And Dave Wallace, coming on, wanted him to first pitch strikes, establish your changeup. He threw 1. So Buck Showalter walked out into the outfield the next day, and he said, "Bud," he said, "you play golf?" He says, "Oh, I play almost every day." He said, "Do you ever play with just a 5-iron?" And Bud said, "Why would I want to do that?" He said, "Well, that's the way you pitched yesterday." And he turned around and walked away. Well, I mean, it's one of the classic Buck Showalters.
Point made.
Yeah, use all your pitches. And then, of course, I told Joe Angels, who's an avid golfer, yesterday. He said, "Well, you can learn a lot pitching, playing just with that 5-iron." I go, "You're probably right, Joe, but it just wasn't at that particular time."
Not the point.
That's the point you wanted to be made.
No. 1-out count on Rasmus, who grounded out his first time up. Boy, did he put that up in the air. Going back is Jones at the wall, and he's got it. A towering fly ball to deep center field. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Pitchers duel again. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50, supporting Be More for healthy babies. The Orioles have drawn 21 walks, $1,050. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Scoreless ball game as it was last night in the opener of this series. Toronto in the fourth inning got a couple of unearned runs, and that's all there would be. For Hutchison so far, a walk and 3 strikeouts. He struck the side out in the third inning. Levinger will lead it off against him, followed by Hardy and Lombardozzi. And the pitch to him will miss outside for a ball. Well, these two teams bearing down here in this series with pitching. Orioles come in 3-4 against the East early on in the season. And a 2-0 count. Teams winning and losing on a win one lose one basis so far. Tampa Bay won again. They've got 7 wins now. Toronto's going for their 7th here tonight. Orioles after their 5th. That'll be fouled away. 2-ball 1-strike count on the Oriole catcher.
Yeah, Lackey gave up at least 3 home runs today in Yankee Stadium after pitching so well.
Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way, and that pitch is away. So a 3-ball 1-strike count with Hardy waiting on deck. John Gibbons saying their shortstop Ray is scheduled to go out on Monday for rehab, so they may get him back next weekend. Fouled straight back.
Yeah, did a lot of running yesterday and going to kind of wait, see how he felt today, and then go out. Of course, last year it was a sprained ankle at I think the 13th of April. Missed 2.5, almost 3 months.
Yep.
Boy, and he is a dynamic table setter, home run guy, defensive shortstop. He can really make you a much better team.
Hamstring problem for him. Casey Jansen with a back problem. He's going to go down to Dunedin for rehab. And John Gibbons said that probably would be 2 or 3 days later, maybe next Wednesday, Thursday. 3-2 delivery, and he draws the walk. Only the second surrendered by Hutchinson. Take a look at our PNC Minor League report, brought to you by PNC Bank for the achiever in you.
Well, Quentin Berry, we know he can run. He was on the Red Sox postseason. So off to a good start. There you go. Get to play a lot in spring training. Grew up with Adam Jones down in San Diego, so lifelong friends. Good guy to have in your minor league organization in case you get injuries.
Well, Gutenberg putting up some numbers that will draw attention throughout the organization to start. Here's Hardy, who grounded out his first time up. Runner at first, nobody out. In the dirt, scoop made by Navarro. For Hutchison so far, 6 out of 15 first pitch strikes, so not where he wants that to be. He's working from behind.
Well, he's been unpredictable, and when we keep talking about Navarro and his effects, just wonder, coming in, throwing in his first 2 starts about 80% fastball, but totally different pitcher as far as mixing up the pitches tonight. Boy, you'd love to be able to advance the runner here, get him into scoring position.
Hardy grounded out his first time up. Lombardozzi on deck. 1-0 delivery to him, and Hardy will take that, and that's going to miss. Hutchinson falling behind these first 2 hitters in the inning. A 2-0 count.
So the last time JJ was up, same count. Threw him 2 breaking balls in a row. But you know he's looking something inside middle. Pronounced pull hitter. That's where the power is.
Hutchinson with a 2-0 delivery to him, and Hardy will take it for a strike on the inside corner. Hutchinson, too, you got to remember, working his way back to major league standards. Last year, he worked just in rehab games, only got 10 games in under his belt, and didn't pitch many innings, only about 30.
Now you would figure they're going to probably 140 innings if he pitches well. Yeah. He won't pitch much more than that this year.
2-1 delivery. Hardy had a reach for that one and fouled it back. So again, he comes back on him in this at bat, 2-2.
Well, he was the 15th round draft choice out of Lakeland, Florida, and before the Tommy John, You talked about facing the Orioles. He was pitching in the big leagues at age 20, and he went 18-12, 2.80 ERA, very low in the minor leagues. So he was able, not a flamethrower, but just a guy that knows how to pitch.
Hardy takes and he's gone.
Yep.
And he pretty much knew it. 4 strikeouts now picked up by Hutchison.
So he gets back in the count and then makes a perfect pitch. And it's all about the unpredictability. He's used all his pitches so well tonight because of the veteran catcher that you have no idea. You just can't sit on a fastball because you're not going to know you're going to get it.
That will bring Lombardozzi up with a runner remaining at first. He flied out to left field. His first time up. Pitch count at 74 for Hutchison. 1 down. Leadoff walk at first base. Levinger. And the pitch will be up high for a ball. Few early surprises around baseball. Milwaukee Brewers have won 7 in a row and have an 8-2 mark. They are right now, coming into the day, the leading team in wins in the majors for the Brew Crew. Braun's returned with some pizzazz for them. Bunted, looking for a base hit. Hutchison bare hands it and didn't get the out. Encarnacion called for coming off the bag, and here comes John Gibbons again on Chris Conroy, the first base umpire, and his replay people are taking a look while he meanders out.
And that's Sal Buteri. He'll get about 6 views from their TV and 6 from the Orioles, and then they'll decide whether they want a thumbs up or thumbs down. I think the toe was on there. I think he was on the bag. Yeah. You got to have the clear and convincing evidence to overturn the call on the field, which means it's got to be clearly wrong. The call was safe. Is he on the bag? I don't know that you've got clear and convincing evidence. It might have been a tie, and obviously the tie goes to the runner. So you see John chit-chatting away while he waits for a sign from the dugout from DeMarlo Hale. I think he's going to challenge it. Well, I don't think he has anything to lose. You're in a 0-0 game. Even if you get it reversed or they keep it the way it is, I think you have to take the chance. The only thing you lose is the challenge. Yep. And I think it's worth it in the way this game is going. So, that angle looks like he was out. The other angle looked like... And they'll look, and they're looking in New York as we speak. They're going to look at all those angles. So the review underway here. So it's a nice play by Hutchison to get rid of it, but and again, as an umpire, you're trying to get out of the way a little bit because it throws at you. See if he catches it, which he does. Toe up. I think he was out there too. I think he was off the bag and the toe came down on that one. I don't know. That's what the review people are for. So New York taking a look at it. Yeah, and that's going to be a play, as John Gibbons said, you're going to go out and argue anyway and ask. If you don't have to have somebody tell you. That's just because of the way the game is. So this is where the standard matters. Well, and Tanaka, who pitches for the Yankees out of Japan in the game, and it cost the Blue Jays. Joe Girardi went out on a ball that Ichiro hit up in Toronto. And they got the call reversed, and it led to 2 runs by the Yankees. This is what the replay people in New York are looking at right now. A very tight play. So you're going to get the Orioles are going to get the runner advanced either way, but it could be the difference between first and second and 1 out, or runner at second and 2 outs. And you can see how tough this call is for the replay people in New York, because this one's taken a while. So if they reverse it, does Buck get to come out and say no? He can't. No, can't ask him to look at it again because they've already done their due diligence. This is a very long review.
See, I just don't. If you go by the standard, clear and convincing evidence, do you have enough to irrefutably say the call was wrong? I don't know. That's why the standard matters so much. The idea being you give the umpires on the field the benefit of the doubt. Safe.
Well, that's the point you made. It wasn't that clear. So now John Gibbons is 0 for 4 this year.
And he's lost his challenge.
Yeah. And he's made the right call. I mean, you want to go out because they could have reversed that, and they couldn't have. It was that close.
So the Orioles, Lombardozzi is safe at first base. Clevenger is down at second. It is a single for Lombardozzi. 2:38 on the review time. 17 left on the shot clock. One away. Runners at first and second. David Lowe up. He popped out to third base. His first time up. The Orioles get a chance. Now Hutchinson, of course, did not throw. While all that's going on, for 2 minutes and 38 seconds, he's standing on a mound getting cold. And an 0-1 count. Now, I'm not sure if he has, under the rules, whether he can throw while there's a review or not.
One of them took 8 minutes the other.
Yeah. Pitch is going to be inside, but obviously it takes a pitcher out of the rhythm that they were in when you have that kind of a delay while you're standing out there. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Big chance for the Orioles. Scoreless ball game. Each team with 4 hits, and there it's going to go to second. Is Turris, Goins, Mercy. These pitchers in these 2 games are just getting it done. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on. Challenge is lost. 2 minutes 38 seconds of quiet time. Watching in the dugout, he will not get a mint on his pillow at the hotel tonight because he lost his challenge. That's what you lose when you lose a challenge. Barry Thorne, Jim Palmer. What do you think of this review so far? I don't mean that particular one, but the process.
Well, I'm trying to.
No, we're hearing an echo in her ears.
Oh, okay. Okay, I have no idea what it is. But anyway, I think it's actually good. They're just going to have to refine it.
What would you like to see done?
I still don't think you should be able to go out there, and it's kind of disconcerting to Doug, but go out there and wait to see if your guys think you should do it. Just go out down the play. Either you think he's safe or you think he's out.
Instead of watching a video replay.
Exactly.
So it remains a scoreless game with the pitchers in charge. Lowry will lead it off. Each pitcher's had a double play turn by their infield to help the cause out in the ball game. And Lowry from Norris, that'll be outside for a ball. He drew a walk his first time up. 4 have been left on. Toronto, 2 in scoring position. Orioles have left 6, 3 in scoring position. A looper to center. Jones coming. Adams there.
Yeah, the Orioles came in last night, starters with a 6.06 ERA, third highest in baseball. Tillman doesn't give up any earned runs, and tonight Norris. And this is why you love to be a starting pitcher, because even if you fail your first start, which is what happened with Norris, he gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. 5-6 days later, depending on off days early in the year, you get another chance to come out there.
Yep. Tillman could not have pitched any better than he did in the ball game last night. Norris's delivery will be taken for a strike. Goins up, batting ninth. Their shortstop hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Tomorrow afternoon, Jimenez takes on Burley. 1 o'clock for O's Extra, 1:30 for the ball game. Then the Orioles will have 3 games against Tampa Bay, all 2 night games, 1 day game coming up on Wednesday, and that's a matchup of Tillman and David Price in the day game. Chen gets Archer. Gonzalez against Jake Odorizzi, the other 2 starts, and a base hit into right field. Orioles are moved around the other way a little bit, so Goins is on with a 1-out single. Join Rob Long, Mel Anton, and Dave Johnson and Phil Wood on Monday, 5 to 6:30 on the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. They'll have a look back at the weekend series, a preview of the week ahead, plus batting practice look-ins, player sound, and more. That's on Monday at 5, right here on Massa. Blue Jays 5 hits. The Orioles have 4. Top of the order, Cabrera. 12-game hit streak continued with a single in the 3rd inning. So Cabrera is now 3 for 6. Lifetime off Norris. And right now you're almost to the point where that 1 run really matters.
Yeah, you look at Goins in the minor leagues. AA stole 15 bases last year at AAA, 3 out of 8. So got caught 2 times more than he was successful. Not much of a lead.
There he goes. Hitting runners on. Ball goes the other way. Goins sees it. David Lowe will make the catch. Runner gets back to first.
Well, that's what you do if you're John Gibbons. You have speed at first, but you don't have the experience to steal bases. Start the runner, contact hitter. That's what happened last time. A little different count, 3-1, but he started him right there and just trying to, because when you start a runner, somebody has to cover. And you're hoping it'll open up a hole, but the line drive right at the left fielder.
So there are 2 away. Norris at 65 pitches thrown so far, and here's his Torres. His Torres grounded out, flied out. He's looking for his first hit of the series, 0 for 6 in the 2 ball games. Jonathan Scope even with a bag at third. His Torres pretty good speed and can handle a bat. And Norris will get the pitch in there for a strike. Norris doing a good job here of picking up first pitch strikes. Better than Hutchison on the other side, but he's had trouble getting leadoff people out. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way, and his Torres back into the glove. What a night on the mound for Norris. Comebackers all over the place, and he comes away with that one. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Pitcher's duel underway. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in you, by Samuel Adams for the love of beer, and by Luna for a beautiful new carpet, hardwood, and laminate. Call 877-241-LUNA. Barry Thorne, Jim Palmer here. Big crowd on hand and another great ball game. This is the way the game was meant to be played. I love games like this. I'm a 1-0 baseball fan.
Well, I played in an era where I played on teams could score runs, but it was about pitching and defense, which is what we've seen. Clutch hitting, which we haven't to this point seen.
The game is crisp. It moves along. Good plays have been made.
Well, you have guys throwing a lot of strikes, even though Hutchinson's pitch count is getting up. Probably right where he's probably right around 85, I guess, somewhere in that range. Actually, 80.
Jones, a chopper to third. Got to back up. Lowry's got it. He's got a cannon.
Yep, and he's got a good arm and good range.
Let's take a look at our Major League Notebook under Friday Night Lights. Interesting news and notes from last night. The Astros 2 for 37 in a 12-inning ball game with a 1-0 loss to the Texas Rangers. That just doesn't happen. The Atlanta Braves, Jordan Schaefer scored from first base on a Justin Upton Blute single. The Braves haven't done that since 1983. Dale Murphy drove in Chris Chambliss. And Grady Sizemore, game-winning 3-run homer off Sabathia. Sabathia, his former teammate, when they were together in Cleveland, he had 11 game-winning RBIs, and Sabathia starts. And last night he beats him with a game-winning home run on the other side.
I wonder if that's the year he won the Cy Young in 19 games.
That's a lot of game-winning RBIs for one guy. And that pitch is taken for a strike.
And that was like Kenny Singleton and Mike Flanagan the year he won the Cy Young Award.
Somebody there getting you
singing. How about me? Come on, man. He won a lot of games for all of us.
One down here on top of the order, Nick Markakis, and he will foul that one away.
Well, there you go. 297 with the 12 home runs that Gary, you talked about last night. 292 lifetime career, so 5 points higher against the Jays.
1-2 delivery on the way to him, and he'll put it in the air. Center field going back. Rasmus.
Yeah. After Rasmus hit that ball that stayed in the park, ball's not carrying.
Nope. Didn't carry last night, and neither is it carrying here tonight. Take a look at our Jeep Inside the Numbers.
Well, there you go. I mean, this is pretty nice. This is what you want. You know, Delman Young coming on. Cruz signed in February, $8 million. So again, two veteran hitters that have, when given the opportunity. You look at all those numbers: on base percentage, home runs, batting average, exactly what you want. They're very Ortiz-like.
And a shattered bat, ground ball to short. Goins, mercy. What was that? 5 pitches? How many reservations are there tonight for dinner? 1, 2, 3, fifth. Not complaining now. Scoreless ball game. Tomorrow's action, series finale against Toronto. Evaldo Jimenez takes the mound against Mark Burley. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 1 with those extra, presented by Geico, followed by our game coverage at 1:30. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Well, the lefty and the righty. Evaldo for the Orioles, you can see his numbers, and then on the other side of the coin, and very bright and shiny corn, Mark Burley. 13 straight years, 10 or more wins, 13 straight years, 200 innings or more.
Well, these two pitchers putting on a show. There you see the line. One more hit for the Jays. Each team's left 5 on base. Here are these two highly offensive teams, expected to be, were last year, and both doing the defensive pitching number on each other so far. 1-0 pitch, and that will be taken for a strike. Here's Bautista. He has struck out twice, 0 for his last 12, and down to 200. Shift on against him in the infield, outfield straight away. 1-1. That'll be outside. And a 2-ball, 1 strike count.
7 hits, 4 of them for home runs, and there is the shift that you talked about. Of course, the home runs all left field. Can't have an extra outfield sitting in the seats. That's what you got to worry about with this guy. And there's a terrific pitch, fastball count, good slider.
He's just not been able to catch up to Bud Norris in these at bats.
Well, this is a slider, but the last time when he needed an out, he struck him out 95 up and in. Really couldn't quite get the bat head to the ball.
2-2 delivery that time, set up outside and a little too far out. So a 3-ball, 2 strike count on Bautista. Leadoff man's been on twice in 5 innings against Norris. Norris able to shut it down in those innings, though. And Bud with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Hutchison 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Here's the 3-2 delivery, and that one missed. So a leadoff walk. Only the second walk Norris has surrendered. And as promised earlier in the game, our AT&T's fan photo. Is that a mannequin? Did Adam take that picture? It's a mystery, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't say we'd explain them. We just said we'd show them. I have no idea. I'll tell you one thing, if that's a real guy, you better not try and go through security at an airport. That is foul back. Encarnacion a single, and he is flied out. So 2 walks by Norris, leadoff walk here. Lind in the middle of this power part of the order, up here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, certainly not what he wanted to do. And then he used to have a saying, it's not always the walks, it's what happens after the walks.
0-1 count. Foul back.
So there's a ball right on the corner, and if you move it in a little bit, then all of a sudden it becomes a line drive pitch. Loves to get the ball away from him.
I really wish the Elias Bureau used to do the Elias Baseball Digest.
Yeah, one of the
greatest baseball book ever written, because it was written. It not only showed you statistics, it told you stories. And I remember one of them, a leadoff walk in an inning. A run is scored in that inning 75% of the time. And that was based at the time on like 100 years going back and researching every game and putting the numbers in. It's the worst thing you can do to start an inning if you're a pitcher is give a leadoff walk.
Well, it was the Hurt brothers, and then Seymour. Yeah.
Yes. 1-2 delivery inside.
I mean, there were so many things when you would read that, and it was kind of when the sabermetrics of baseball was starting. You know, you talk about why good pitching stops good hitting, and they did the 4 best pitchers that were starters, 4 best pitchers that were relievers, and they showed that they don't walk as many guys, they don't throw as many home runs, they get the first batter out, they don't walk the first guy, and it made so much sense if you read the book.
Commonalities.
And I think they stopped that in about 1986, but it was one of the first magazines that really gave you an insight into numbers, and which is what the Hurts could do, especially Steve Hurt. I knew from ABC that. So all of a sudden we're getting maybe here a little bit where you're trying to make the perfect pitch. 3rd time through the order.
3-ball, 2 strike count here with a runner on at first base and nobody out.
And the minute you go from 2-2 to 3-2, now all of a sudden to home run guys, you just can't make the same kind of pitches. You may accidentally do it, but you have to throw the ball over more of the plate.
Bautista with the lead at first. 3-2 delivery. There he goes, and a ground ball to third. That's a fair ball. Jonathan Scope's got to go to first. So Bautista ends up at second base, but Norris gets Encarnacion for the first out. Fans can once again select a player to be immortalized in a bobblehead giveaway, part of the AT&T Fans Choice bobblehead promotion. Just go to Orioles.com/bobblehead to vote for Tommy Hunter, Jimenez, O'Day, or Tillman. You can also do it via the number there, 1234. So cast your vote. Text it in. You'll automatically be entered to win a VIP experience, including tickets to a September 21 game when the bobblehead will be given out. Orioles.com/bobblehead.
There's Chris Tillman. Wow. There he is. He'll have maybe a little bit of on that bobblehead if he's the one that's chosen. It'll be maybe a day or two growth. Get a little
good for him.
That rough look.
Here's Lind with a runner on his second base. Scoreless ball game.
Well, he came into the game with the 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And as you look at tonight's numbers.
Base hit for him, came in the fourth inning, hit into a double play. Bautista's got decent speed out there, will be held by Hardy right behind him, the shortstop. 0-1 delivery to Lind, and that will miss inside. So for Bud Norris, even though he's working in a jam here, big point for him is he's still working. This is the first time Norris has gotten to the sixth inning in his last 4 starts.
Well, his ERA last year, Gary, at home, where usually when he was pitching for Houston was a lot better, was 7.20. Even though the Orioles in those games were 4-1. Figure out those numbers. Yeah. Well, they scored over 6 runs a game for him when he was starting. Obviously tonight that's not the case. But Orioles, this is crunch time. Yeah. You got to make your pitches here.
1-1 delivery on the way. Slow roller. Orioles went 7-5 as a team when Norris was out there. Bautista will head back to second base. Where the outfielders work their arms a little bit, move around a little bit, just in case a ball comes out there and Bautista's headed home.
Yeah, in any line drive with 1 out versus 2 outs, you have to make sure the ball clears the infield. So again, if Lowe throws well and left, Adam Jones and Markakis with exceptional arms.
1-2 delivery to him. That's going to be put up in the air. Very playable. Taken in by Lowe, and there are 2 down. Lind is retired. So Toronto with that runner at second. Can't move him around on that at bat, and that will bring up Navarro, who has singled and grounded out. Navarro has been a big leader for them. You see the 7 RBIs that he has put up. He leads Toronto in that department somewhat surprisingly, even though it's only the 12th game they've played. One would have thought you might have a Bautista or Encarnacion or a Lind.
Well, he seems to have learned how to hit. He doesn't, switch hitter, so he's breaking ball usually coming at him. And we saw that when he got the base hit, the first time up was on a 2-strike pitch. And that's one of the more difficult things to do in professional baseball. There's his hitting instructor, Kevin Seitzer, when he played with Kansas City, over 200 hits one year, I think 215. But cut your swing down and use the whole field, and we saw him do that earlier. But you do have first base open. You have to make a decision here. Who do you want to pitch to?
1-0 delivery is there for a strike at the knees.
And then how are you going to do it?
So Navarro, 1 ball, 1 strike. Orioles are pretty much straight up on him defensively, both in the infield, outfield. Hardy's moved a little over to second, but also there because he's trying to keep Bautista a little bit close. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery, and Navarro will take it, and that's a strike. At the knees, Norris keeps the pitches down, and it goes to 1 and 2.
I don't think you have a choice with Steve Clevenger. I mean, he really presents a target. When you're looking to see where you're going, you want to make sure that the catcher gets to the corner and you see the glove, because that's what you're throwing to. And you don't want the hitter to be able to see it, move late.
Another high one, and he almost got him to bite. That's a couple of times tonight where you've seen Clevenger all but stand up. He got Bautista to swing at one of those for a strikeout earlier, and now he tries it on Navarro.
You're just trying to elevate the eye level and get him to chase, and thought about it.
2-2. Clevenger never giving that sign. Of course, till hitter stands in. Bautista off second, 2-2 delivery, and that's inside, gets away. Bautista's going to, get caught. Throw, Hardy, he is out! He started to go and then changed his mind, and Clevenger gets him, and Navarro does not get to finish his at-bat. Bautista doing the dance. Clevenger sending him back to his seat. Picking the ball up and throwing some strikes in this ball game. A couple of strikeouts against Bautista. Hardy back in action, tested early in the field. Challenge on that play on Lombardozzi at first base. He was called safe. New York said he was safe, and he got a base hit out of it. But it's 0-0.
Yeah, and what a nice play by Steve Clevenger. If he doesn't block that ball and keep it somewhere, even though it was certainly not outstanding with 2 out, base running by Jose Bautista, but snap throw right on the money. Accuracy, footwork, got him out of the inning.
And Chris Davis will lead it off for the Orioles. Davis, Jones, and Clevenger due up. Towering pop-up, long run for everybody. Cabrera in left, and he will get there in time to put it away. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. When the Orioles win, everyone wins all season long. When the Orioles win and score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com. Enter promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, valid at participating Baltimore area Papa John's.
So only 87 pitches. Again, came in his first 2 starts throwing about 80% fastball. Not the case tonight.
Threw 83 pitches first game, 78 in the second, but only 5 1/3 innings in game 1 and just 3 1/3 in game 2 against the Yankees. Adam Jones up. Jones will take the pitch for a strike. Adam has a single. He's been called out on strikes. Orioles got a couple of singles in the 3rd inning, putting 2 on with 1 out. Davis and Jones struck out in the inning. Best scoring chance the Orioles have had. Had a couple on in the 4th inning, but double play ended that one. One ball, 1 strike delivery, and that's taken down low, and it's 2-1 now.
Yeah, one of those nights where the opposing pitcher, in fact, both opposing pitchers are making a lot of pitches, and hitters maybe swinging at pitchers' pitches early in the count.
And a swing and a miss and a good pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And then we always talk about velocity. That pitch at 92, but how about the movement? I mean, that's a fastball outside middle of the plate, yet it just had great life, so Adam unable to get to it.
2-2 with 1 down. Hutchison's delivered to Jones in the air, center field. Rasmussen will win. And there are 2 away. Oriole Park, perfect setting for your next group outing. Gather up family, friends, co-workers, and colleagues. Have a great night or day here at the ballpark. Discounted ticket prices for groups as small as 15. Party facilities up to 1,000. Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Be here with a group. Orioles.com/groups for info. A great night to be here at the ballpark tonight. Right back tomorrow with a day game. Temperatures supposed to be in the 80s. Clevenger with a big cut. He has drawn a walk and he has flied out. 2 down, nobody on. The Orioles and Jays bats finding it tough going. And that one a little late on it. 2-strike count.
Yeah, neither team with Reyes out and David Lowe not getting on base has a lot of speed, so it's who hits the home runs.
Yep. Nobody's done that yet.
No.
0-2 delivery. That'll be away. The ball and 2 strikes. 95 miles an hour. A high tonight. Throwing the off-speed delivery and the slider. He's been on the money, as has Norris. 1-2 delivery and got him to go after it. That's 5 strikeouts and another 1-2-3 innings. Orioles have now gone 15 consecutive innings without a run. No score. Moment in history brought to you by Volkswagen. We'll take you back to September 6th of 1996. 40-year-old Eddie Murray, a game-tying solo shot, 7th inning, 500 in his career. And it came just before midnight. There'd been a long rain delay. And it came on the 1-year anniversary of Cal's record-breaking consecutive game. Eddie Murray, number 500. That's going to be it for Hutchinson as the skipper goes over. Say great job, and now he can just hope they get some runs here for his benefit.
Yeah, John Gibbons talked about last night because what Dustin McGowan hadn't won a game since June 26th of 2008, a sentimental moment. But anytime you come off a shoulder injury as McGowan, Tommy John surgery, and you come back and pitch at this level and pitch that way, pretty special night for everybody involved.
Yep. Norris right there, equal to the task so far. Navarro will resume his at bat here, start it over again. He was up, and Bautista got picked off second base. And takes the pitch, and the count goes to 2-0. Navarro is single, and he is grounded out. Rasmus and then Lowry will be due up. Yana Navarro batting in the 7th inning. 5 hits for the Jays, 4 for the O's. 2-0 delivery to him, and late on it, bounces one into the seats. Bud Norris also working on the extra day's rest, which has never been in his career that good for him. It's certainly not the case here. In his career, he's gone 4-9 when he's had 6 or more days rest and an ERA of 5.08.
Yeah, it's very difficult to keep your feel for the game. Ball feels different. Wind up, release point.
3-1 delivery on the way, and he walked him. So another leadoff man on here in the 7th inning. In our Major League notebook on this date in Major League history, in 1966, the O's won in the 13th inning on a bases-loaded balk that was surrendered to give the Orioles the win. And in 53, at an exhibition game being played at Ebbets Field in New York, the public address announcer there announced Mickey Mantle this way. Mickey doesn't know it yet, but he has just become the father of an 8-pound, 12-ounce boy. That's how Mantle learned of his... That was the first baby that they had. They would have 4. But that was baby number 1, and he learned it coming to the plate when he was introduced by the PA announcer at Ebbets Field. Probably didn't get a hit. And Rasmus takes it down low for a ball.
Well, bullpen getting ready. The Meek, who made the club out of spring training, had a brilliant spring.
0-2 delivery on the way, and that's there for a strike. By the way, that balk was Jim Lonborg who issued that balk. Yeah,
Gentleman Jim.
In the 13th inning of that ball game with the bases loaded, 2 down at Fenway. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
And the next year he would win a Cy Young. And pitch with 2 days rest against Gibson in the World Series.
Set up outside, didn't get it. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, you can see the command going a little bit. Hasn't been at this part of the game. If you could take your pitches, which are what, at 90, 95, 96, in a 0-0 game, it's more than that. Because every pitch has meant something. It's not like you had any kind of cushion to work with. And maybe you can relax a little bit.
Has a 2-1 count here. Navarro's the runner at first base. Rasmus 2-1 delivery to him, and he'll whip it foul.
Well, he just missed a home run his last time up, and I mean deep to right center field. 22 of them last year. Really good second half.
That's the reason base coaches now wear helmets. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Navarro over at first, and Rasmus looking down to third. Probably just to see whether or not he's going to run here. Now they put the shift on, which wasn't there before. That's going to go to Jones tailing away. He'll get over there. Runner halfway will go back. Rasmus retired, 1 down in the 7th inning. And that will bring Lowry up. Both bullpens going to come into play in this one. Neil Wagner for Toronto.
Yeah, described as having a big arm. In other words, he can get it up there. Not to mention a couple of other pitches to go with that fastball.
Lowry with just the 0.98 batting average with the 41 at bats and 4 hits.
Yeah, if they could just get him to do what he did his last 68 games. He had the bleak pull last year early, then the ankle problem, but he had hit over at 285, and he drove in 32 runs in those last 68 games. Just get him on the field, and it's such a fine line. We call him the energizing bunny, but you got to still play under control.
That's been a problem for him, and he knows it. They've talked to him about it, trying to get him to just slow things down, but it's not his nature, so it's very hard for him to do, especially as the excitement of a game moves along. DeMarlo Hale on the right. Now the bench coach for John Gibbons, formerly with the Orioles, of course. Lowry with an 0-2 count, 1 down. He's still got Navarro over there at first base. Dangerous hitter. He's got power. 0-2 pitch to him by Norris. He jammed him unmercifully. Arbordozzi will get the ball, make a nice play. Navarro goes to second, but there are 2 down.
Yeah, he made a nice play getting there, and then the short hop ball came up. Easily could have gone off the heel of his glove up his arm. Right there it kind of comes up, and then the on-balance throw. But they do get the go-ahead run. Not a lot of speed out to second with Navarro.
So with Goins due up, John Gibbons is going to go to his bench here and try and get the RBI. His backup catcher, Eric Kratz, is going to come to the plate, and with that, Dave Wallace will go out to make sure everybody's familiar with a scouting report on the pinch hitter.
It's kind of interesting because Goins has had 2 good at-bats. He hit a rocket back up the middle that happened to hit the glove and the leg of Norris, and then hit a single into to right field.
Dave Wallace goes over the scouting report. Goins out of there after picking up a base hit in the ball game. And Kratz will come to the plate, trying to get that run in from second base. The 2 for 9 so far on the year for the catcher.
Yeah,
he has been to the plate as a pinch hitter and gone 1 for 4, a home run.
Well, there you have it. John Gibbons knows who he's sending up there. I'm just kind of wondering, because he comes out of the National League, if maybe there's some history. I mean, there is. 1 for 3.
And he'll take the pitch down low for a ball. So a runner at second base.
Now you come out of the National League where you're either a regular or backup catcher, you're going to get a chance to pinch hit because of the nature of the game. No DH. And you can see he is a big guy at 6'4", well over 200 pounds.
That's there for his strike for Toronto. 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight. 0 for 2 in the ball game last night, even though they won it 2-0. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Kratz. At second base, Navarro not of speed. Now he will take off on contact. And the ball in the air, and that'll end up into the seats. And Norris is going to get ahead on the count of ball and 2 strikes.
So a get me over slider and then go right in after him. Couldn't quite get to that fastball. You can see the pitch count at 104. And that's why Meek having getting loose, no doubt loose in the bullpen for the Orioles.
There's the setup in the scoreless game. Navarro the runner at second base. Norris working against Kratz. Fans applauding for a K. The 1-2. Ooh, look out. That hit him on the hand. It's a foul ball, according to the home plate umpire, Paul Emmel.
Yeah, they're saying he swung.
They're saying he swung and is out. He'll be tagged, and that's the inning. And John Gibbons is on his way out. He has already used any challenge that might be available. So all he can do now is argue.
Well, if the ball hit the bat, well, take a look. Does he get hit by the pitch? Ball riding up and in. Yeah, it hit his hands, but he apparently was swinging. That's the way Paul Emmel said.
Well, while I'm out here, I'll give you my pitching change. 7th inning stretch time, Camden Yards.
Highlights this 0-0 game here in Baltimore. So again, a couple of guys on. Batista home run guy, strike one, strike two. Little change up down and away, and then watch this. Clevenger goes up, runs the fastball in him. Big strikeout in a 0-0 tie game, and then after he walks, comes too far with 2 outs. Clevenger blocks the ball, snap throw, tagged by Hardy. Orioles out of the inning. Hutchinson pitches extremely well. You can see the numbers right there. He leaves. Bud Norris still on the mound for the Orioles. A lot of clutch pitching by Bud Norris trying to get his record. That is Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
And our Jiffy Lube pitching change. This pitching change should be quick, just like a Jiffy Lube signature service oil change. At Jiffy Lube, they get you in and out fast, and you never need an appointment.
Now, we talked about Neil Wagner, big article in the Toronto paper. Started the year in Buffalo, had a very good spring, as John Gibbons, the Jays manager, said. Kind of scattered the ball last year, but a hard thrower. This year filled the strike zone with strikes. Fastball took away the curveball, and then a slider, and there's 95. So there's a big arm, and he's got a splitter and a slider to go with it.
Jonathan Diaz comes in to play it short. Goins out of there. Wagner on to do the pitching. J.J. Hardy is struck out and grounded out. Hardy will foul that one away. Last year, Wagner 36 games with a 2-4 record, all in relief. He worked only 38 innings and gave up 39 hits. So that's what Gibbons was talking about with kind of the ball all over the place. Not so in spring training. Pitch taken outside for a ball. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Another pitchers duel and another scoreless game. The Orioles did not score in the ball game last night. Obviously, they have not scored in this one. Toronto got 2 unearned runs in the 4th inning last night, and they've put up nothing in this one.
And there's that slider, and I could understand. He said he had trouble throwing both the curve and the slider, so he just kind of shelved the curve ball. He has a split-fingered fastball. And John, I asked John Gibbons about him. He said, he should have made the club, but he had options. And that's a familiar refrain from managers. Sometimes guys have great years, whether they're pitchers or regular players. Just no room for them.
Up high to him. Wagner got hit hard last year. The left-handers, 270. Right-handers at 272. He gave up 5 home runs. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery, and Hardy will take it, and that's going to be up high. Orioles trying to get their leadoff man on here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Lombardozzi, then Lowe, due up for Buck Showalter's ball club. 3-ball, 2-strike count. And Hardy will foul another one off.
Yeah, we see time after time relievers coming in, and part of the red badge of courage, so to speak, is can you use all your pitches when you get to the 3-2 count? You've been sitting out there for 6-7 innings. It's hard to do for some guys.
3-2 delivery, and he got him.
Yep, perfect.
Hardy's retired. That is going to be the 6th Oriole to strike out in the ball game, and Wagner's first.
And then the owner, Navarro, says, I'm going with his best. And then he makes a perfect pitch outside corner. Poured it in there at 93.
JJ missing 6 out of the last 7 ball games. As we said earlier in the game, he's missed so much time. He's got to get back into a rhythm again. And that's going to come hard when you're trying to do that here in these games. Clevenger has picked up a single, and he is flied out. And Lombardozzi, and he takes the pitch. It is in there for a strike. Lowe waiting on deck. Jonathan Scope, if they get that far. Lombardozzi waits on it and swings, and it's behind him. 0-2. Nature of the game now for bullpens, for the most part, back to power arms.
Yes.
Around the majors. Want guys with that 93, 94 mile an hour fastball or more.
Well, that got to 96, and you go back to that Oriole ball club that Davey Johnson managed in 97. He said, I got myself a National League bullpen. He had Benitez. He had Randy Myers, who was 46 out of 47.
Got jammed off the fists.
We had Alan Mills. They all threw 93 or more.
Then you went through the span where you had the split-fingered fastball being thrown, and other assorted pitches that were not power pitches, and went through that for a while with Bruce Sutter leading the charge. Now back to power arms again. 1-2 the count. And again, late on the swing, but reached back and fouled it off.
Well, hitters tell you what you need to throw. I mean, the Blue Jays didn't talk about power arms. The last 4 drafts, the major league average of guys' arms that you draft is about 49%. They've been up over 70. So trying to mask those guys that can really get the ball up there.
Wagner will miss outside with it. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
And sometimes you could take a look right here. And again, I can't imagine. They're still at a count where he can throw something in the dirt.
That'll go to the hole. Can the play be made? Diaz just in, scooped, and got him. The defensive replacement made. Diaz. Now will there be a challenge? Buck Showalter's going to go out to get the delay so he can have his replay expert taking a look at it. Here it is.
Well, what a play just to make it. I mean, talk about National League. You do this on the turf. So the question is, does the foot get down? And the new ruling, and we saw this up in Toronto, the glove does not have to be closed. So is the ball in the glove? Yes, it is. So you can go out, but they're not going to challenge on this.
And it should be easy again based on the rule if you don't have clear and convincing evidence.
Yes.
So Buck Showalter heads back and there'll be no challenge.
But the rule last year was the glove had to close.
Yeah. Well, now the term the umpires are using is the ball is corralled. That's the term.
Really?
In the glove, yeah. And that's exactly what that was right there.
I'd get a bigger glove. I mean, they're big enough as it is. So it is. I mean, this is how you could slow it down right here. So the ball in the glove as the foot is coming down, and that's why they didn't. And the Orioles, I think Adam Gladstone does and he's saying, okay, you know what? I don't think it definitively. You're not going to get it changed. So, of course, anytime after the 7th inning, the umpires will ask for the challenge too, or
if they want to.
Yeah, if they want,
you can ask them to, or they can do it on their own.
If you can beg enough. Please.
But that one was right. He saved the challenge. Yeah. Navarro may have taken that pitch somewhere because he wants to.
But what a play by Diaz to make it close.
And he just came in the ball game.
Yeah, that John Gibbons, he knows when to put him in for defense, doesn't he?
9 straight have been retired since the Orioles' last base runner, a single by Lombardozzi in the 4th inning. 2 down, 1 strike count. Lowe is hit into a double play and popped out. Will foul that one back. And an 0-2 count. Watching the pitchers in these 2 games, we would think we're looking at those who are going to qualify for the Cy Young Award and the Relief Pitcher of the Year awards. All of them so far. As the bats on both sides just can't find a way. That's down low, 1-2. And there is Norris hoping, even with 2 away, 105 pitches thrown. Meek's ready if needed. 1-2 delivery. That's going to be looped, and that's a base hit into left field. So Lowe takes it the other way. He'll make the big turn but stay at first base.
Well, very surprised if and he's going to hit a little splitter from Wagner. What about the slider? This ball just tumbles and he just tracks it all the way to the outside corner and does exactly what Jim Presley wants him to do. Hit the line drives. Just don't hit the lazy fly balls. So he hits a good pitch, and I can't imagine he won't be running here.
Yep.
That's what he brings to the Orioles. He is the Nate McLouth, who's now with the Nationals.
Navarro's thrown out only 1 of 9 so far. Pitch will be taken outside. Jonathan Scope has struck out and grounded out. And everybody taking a look. Bobby Dickerson down to 3rd. See what's on here as Lowe tries to extend his lead.
5 out of 7 for Kansas City. 2 out of 2 this year.
Orioles have just the 2 stolen bases that he's got.
He's the guy.
1-0, and there's a little lob toss over.
And the hoping, I mean, what you try to do is you try to get if you're Buck Showalter, you know, and the Jays know that he has speed. Neil Wagner knows that. You hope that maybe he'll hurry his windup. Maybe he won't have late life. Maybe not have his command or velocity.
Runner not going. Pitch will be outside. Scope ahead on the count. 2-0. 2 down. Bottom of the 7th, the no score. Each team's got 5 hits. Even Steven almost all the way across the board. Jays have left 6 on, Orioles 5. That's not the only difference. Low not running. Jonathan Scope will pop it up into the seats. 2-1. Pressure packed first 2 games. Bobby Dickerson, third base coach. You got to believe Lowe's got a green light over there to go if he thinks he's got the jump.
Big lead.
2-1 not going, and a swing and a miss on a pitch away. 2-2.
Oh, another fastball. And he chases it.
Way off the target.
Yeah.
So Navarro is set up. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Lowe still hasn't attempted to go. And that'll be up high. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. He'll go now.
Well, it certainly makes a difference on a long single or a gapper. And the difference between 2-2 and 3-2 when he's not running is huge.
Runner goes, 3-2, ball in the air, and it is in the gap in right center field. Lowe's going to score easily. Jonathan Scope looking for 3, decides on 2 at RBI, and the Orioles take a 1-0 lead.
Well, a couple of great at bats. Lowe on the 2-strike splitter, serves it into left. And then again, you go 3-2, and he hits it up the gap. You know he's going to score.
Our Alexis of Towson drive of the game.
And you're getting an idea of the man-child. Jonathan Scope just smokes it to right center field. And they're not even going to be close at home. David Lowe can really pick him up and put him down.
And that will result in a pitching change. The drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 Lexus dealer. Come see why. LexusToTowson.com. Third double and his 6th RBI, and the Orioles are on the board with a 1-0 lead.
And you can see down in the left-hand corner, off the bat, 96 miles per hour. Major League average, 77. Well, again, hit it over 90. We like that. Over 60% of the time. And if you're 100, 74% of the time. So very timely bat speed as he hits it up the gap and low all the way. And Aaron Loop will come on. He's already got 3 holds. Last year did a great job for him. This is a matchup.
Nick Markakis, a base hit. He is 1 for 3. Nick's had a 2 for 6 off Loop in his career. And another RBI opportunity for the Orioles with 2 down. The runner at second scope. That's going to go to first base, and it'll be played by Encarnacion over to the pitcher, Loop covering, and that's that. The Orioles all break out of it as they get their first run in 2 games. Jonathan Scope, the RBI, and a 1-0 lead. Run is going to be the Orioles starter, but Norris, he earned it.
Yeah, he really, tenacious outing tonight. Got himself in and out of trouble all night long. Strikeouts, good fielding. And then again, after getting himself all the way through 7th inning, he will leave Evan Meek, who had, again, we talked about the great spring he had. All-star back for John Russell, who's the Oriole bench coach. 70 appearances back for the Pirates, and then the arm problem. So he's rehabbed his arm, got the cutter, got a little bit of a split-fingered fastball, and as the season has progressed, the velocity's gone up. I still remember opening day, the Orioles winning 2-1. And he said, I had a little trouble not only handling my emotions, but handling and feeling the ball on a very slippery day, very breezy, but tonight a little bit different. See how he does.
So the Orioles up, Scope picking up the RBI. We go to the 8th inning. It'll be the top of the order coming up as Cabrera will lead it off. And he will take the pitch for a strike. Picked up a base hit in the 3rd inning, 1 for 3 in the ball game. A couple of hits in 7 at-bats in the first 2 games. And now the Orioles trying to do to Toronto what the Jays did last night, and that's have a shutout. 0-2 count.
So there's the hard cutter at 93.
So Norris gave up no runs, 5 hits over 7. Hutchison gave up no runs, 4 hits over 6. Wagner becomes a pitcher of record on the losing side, and Norris on the W side, at least for the moment. And an 0-2 count on Cabrera is Turris and then Bautista, with the big middle part of this order coming up for the Jays. Orioles trying to set up that rubber match for tomorrow, give themselves a chance at a series win here. The 0-2 delivery taken outside. And Meek's pitch will be popped up in the air towards that Bermuda Triangle, but it's going to hang up and easily handled by David Lowe. 1 down in the 8th inning. Follow every Orioles game all season long with MLB.com at bat for your favorite mobile phone or tablet. At Bat brings you baseball wherever you are. Look-ins, replays, highlights, audio, Free MLB TV game of the day and classic games and more. Download the award-winning MLB.com at bat on the App Store or go to Orioles.com today. Here's his Torres, 0 for 3 in the ball game, 0 for 7 in the series. And that pitch will be taken inside for a ball.
Man, all he wants to do is get on base for the guys behind him. Batista and Encarnacion, and just the mere fact that he'll feign a bunt and brings in Scope at third base.
And he'll get ahead on the count as it goes to 2-0 from Meek. Jonathan Scope even with the bag at third, and the outfield moved a bit around to right. So up to the Orioles bullpen now. Orioles will run on 6 hits, and the Jays no runs on 5. 2-0 delivery by Meek, and it'll be taken for a strike. As Torres puts one up in the air to right field. Nick Markakis, shy of the warning track, has it, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, Evan Meek can make the ball move very much like Mariano Rivera, and right there a cutter. It starts in the middle of the plate. As Torres, you think you're going to be able to get the bat head to it, and he just moves enough to get in on your fist.
So now the ever dangerous Bautista, especially in a 1-0 ball game. 2 down, nobody on. Bautista has picked up a walk and has struck out twice. Delabar in the bullpen for the Jays. .1-0 delivery. That's a strike in the outside corner. Meek has had 4 saves in his major league career and picked up a dozen in his games in the minors. He's pitched late innings. 1-1 delivery, and that's going to be inside, 2-1.
First time I saw him throw this spring, I go, wow. Ball came out of his hand nicely. He's got good movement. He's got experience. What he didn't have since 2010 is good health, and that seems to be a thing of the past.
2-1 with 2 down. Bautista. And we'll take it outside. Encarnacion waiting on deck. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Zach Britton, the lefty for the Orioles.
Well, 2 hitters down. You got Adam Lynn and the ever dangerous 3-1 count. Got to throw a strike. Home run guy on deck with a 1-run lead.
And Bautista's on. So Bautista picks up his 2nd walk. He continues to lead the league in free passes. It comes to 2 down here in the 8th inning. And Encarnacion will come to the plate. Encarnacion has had a single. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. None of these hitters have ever faced Meek before. So it's the first 1-on-1 on each side. 2 down.
And they moved Adam Jones maybe a step or so, a little bit deeper. Such a small ballpark, you have a tendency sometimes to play a little bit shallower than you should, and there's a high strike.
Looking to the outside corner and down the line, and that will end up in the seats. So a 2-strike count. He comes right after Encarnacion. Got that one where he wanted it away, kept it away from his power. Bautista making the long walk back to first base. Santos, the closer, now with Delabar. Meeks 0-2 delivery on the way, and Encarnacion right on top of it fouls it off.
Almost the perfect pitch. Not only did he add a couple of miles per hour, he hit right underneath his hands.
Again outside, 0-2 delivery, and that'll go to third. Jonathan Scope gets the force out, and that's the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. One left on base. The Orioles coming up in the bottom of the 8th with a 1-0 lead. By authority of the Baltimore Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. So for Bud Norris, making his longest outing as an Oriole tonight, matching it with the 7 innings that he worked, a chance to be the victor. The Orioles will try and add here in the bottom half of the 8th inning to their 1-0 lead against Steve Delabar.
Yeah, a couple of all-stars out on their bullpen. We saw Brett Cecil last night. He came in and really pitched well. And then Steve Delabar, 5-5 last season in 55 games, 58 2/3 innings, 50 hits, and then the one number that really jumps out, 82 strikeouts. A big, hard thrower, all kinds of physical problems. First time with the Padres, then with the Mariners, and then moved on to the Blue Jays. So an opportunity to pitch at the big leagues and really taking advantage of it.
Delabar will work to Cruz, who has singled 1 for 3 in the game. And Nelson will take the pitch down low for a ball. The Orioles will have Cruz, Davis, and Jones up here in the bottom of the 8th. Delabar, 3-1 lifetime record against the Orioles with a 3.95 earned run average. 12th game he's pitched against the O's in his career. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, he got a number of grimaces from the hitters tonight because there's been a big strike zone, but nobody's turning around and saying anything to Paul Hemmel. I mean, he has presented a strike zone, and you're going to have to live with it. There's a little splitter.
Cruz with a 1 for 5 off Delabar in his career. Orioles love to get that leadoff man on here. The Orioles did the damage in that 7th inning with 2 down. Wow, that may have caught Hemmel a lot as that ball went skimming by everybody.
Another splitter and a fastball count, and just bounces it. It's like the old 57.
Missed the gut by the umpire.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss as he came back with some heat.
So live arm.
Three ball, 2 strike count. And that will be inside. So the Orioles get the leadoff man on. Only the third walk they have picked up off the 4 Toronto pitchers tonight.
Certainly not what Delabar wanted, but the Orioles will take it with Davis, Jones, and Clevenger to follow.
Chris has hit Delabar hard, a couple of home runs included. He is 3 for 5. Shift is on against him. And inside he pitched him. He's drawn a walk, has struck out and flied out. 1 hit, 6 at bats in the 2 games, and not real happy with himself on that one. Oh, one delivered to Davis, and that's foul back.
So 95-93. And if you're Navarro and you're putting the fingers down, and you're Delabar throwing it, you react to the way Chris Davis reacts to your stuff, and he's been late on both of those fastballs. And it's not that you don't throw him one of your other pitches, you just don't throw it in the zone, and you can do that 0-2.
Cruz will get back to the bag easily. Not a big lead at first base. And the 0-2 delivery, and he went around on that one. So that is going to be the strikeout first out here in the 8th inning.
3 pitches, 3 fastballs. Couldn't quite hold up.
Adam Jones, his single came in the 1st inning. Since then he has struck out and flied out. Cruz remains at first. Delabar getting the K. Adam 2 for 7 off the Toronto right-hander. Gets the entire right side of the infield with his Torres, the second baseman, moving over to the bag. Tommy Hunter in the bullpen, the Oriole closer. Jones fouls it back. Toronto's not had a 1-run ball game this year. The Orioles are already 2-2 in 1-run games. Toronto had 3 shutouts that they've pitched, while the Orioles have not had a shutout and have been shut out once in the ball. That was the ball game last night.
Well, you talked about it the first game of spring training, how runs were the lowest since what, 1992? 4.17 runs. Tampa Bay has won 2 1-0 games and a 2-1 game just in this week, and we know they can pitch. I mean,
yeah. The season has started much like the last one. Runs down, strikeouts up. 0-1 delivery on the way. Jones, a rainmaker in the infield. Lowry wants it at third, and he's got it. 2 down.
All I have to do is look out on the scoreboard. San Francisco lost 1-0 to Colorado. A lot of lower scoring games.
Defense and pitching expected to be the primary objectives here in this season. Steve Clevenger will come to the plate. 0 for 2 and a walk in the ball game. Cruz getting the leadoff walk. He still is over there at first base. And he's drawn 3 throws just to keep him leaning in that direction.
I had to go check my numbers just to see if maybe Nelson Cruz stole more bases than he hit home runs, and then he hasn't. 5.
That I believe.
Yeah, I mean, he's apparently faster than I think he is, or more adept at stealing bases. I mean, I know you don't want to let him get the second, but when you come to the set position, you look at the lead and you go,
he's not going anywhere.
No. With Jones and Davis up, are you crazy?
0-1 count, 2 down.
Now, the lead's a little bit bigger now, but that's only because he wants to score on the double.
I often wonder how much of that from pitchers who don't want to throw to the plate. No, I mean that.
Yeah, I know.
They're not ready. They're not ready to throw this. So they throw over to first base even though there's no reason to do it.
Well, I don't think and I know you're probably with me on this. Delabar, after making the All-Star team, is not one of those guys.
I would think so.
You make a good point.
I don't know. Why else would you do it? 0-2 count, 2 down. And that's going to go all the way to the backstop, and a runner goes into scoring position. Wild pitch. Should have thrown the first.
He just throws it way inside and bounces it. So a couple of dirt balls in this inning.
Second wild pitch for him already this year. So Cruz on the very important potential second run for the Orioles if they could get it home.
Yeah, well, there have been a number of pitchers to kind of amplify your thought process that subscribe to the Dean Smith four-corner offense. You know, the stall.
If I don't throw it, they can't hit it.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm in no hurry to get it over the plate. I had a couple of games like that. Jeez.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that's popped up. Laurie again going into foul territory near the seats, and he's got it. So leadoff walk will be stranded at second base. Orioles 3 outs away from a win and a shutout. Tommy Hunter. Orioles 1, Jays nothing. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at ococean.com. Gary Thorne, Jim Power on hand here at Camden Yards for this middle game and another good one. Orioles lead it 1-0. They need 3 outs to win it. Here's their closer.
And you can see he's not going to walk anybody. He's yet to walk anybody. Last year, lefties hit over 300. All the home runs, 11 of them were by left-handers. This year, left-handers 1 for 7. Righties at 2 for 6. You start looking at history. Encarnacion, who made the last out, it was the 381 hitter with 2 home runs, but Evan Meek was able to get him out. And when you start looking at the other numbers, Lind at 2 for 11. And he will lead it off for the Jays. So Tommy, strike thrower, fastball, cutter, occasional curveball, changeup, got them all.
Lind is 7th of 30 with a home run lifetime off Hunter. And takes that one in the air to center. Jones will come on. Back is Hardy, and Hardy's got it.
I guess the back spasms. I don't think Adams going to get that ball because you're playing a little bit deep. Guy with power. But again, the shift pays off because JJ up the middle. And if he's playing normal shortstop, which he wasn't, I don't think he gets to that ball.
So Hunter gets an out on 1 pitch here as he goes for the save.
His last save in the Yankee game gave up a run on a couple of hits against the Yanks. Came in with a 5-3 lead, made it 5-4.
Navarro's had a single, and he has drawn a walk in the game. Tommy's had his problems with this ball club. His record's 3-4 against Toronto and an ERA of 6.27 in his career. But all he wants right here are 3 outs. Navarro 1 for 3 off him. 1 down. And the 0-1 delivery on the way. That's a broken bat, foul ball.
Yeah, 96-97. Again, good movement, good location.
The Orioles have not won a 1-0 game since October of 2012. Rare in baseball. And these two teams are trying to swap shutouts, with Toronto winning 2-0 last night and the Orioles with a 1-0 lead here. Jonathan Scope right now the game-winning RBI.
After making a couple of errors last night that led to 2 of the Jays.
And David Lowe, the runner that scored, picking up a base hit in that 7th inning when the Orioles got their run. Hunter with an 0-2 count. Rasmus waiting on deck. And up high and off the glove.
Well, you always think when you get into these counts, 1 and 2, I mean, 96, 97, where can I go? Stay away from his power. And the single he hit was a fastball away. But again, maybe Tommy throws a little bit ticks higher than Bud Norris.
1-2, just kind of laid the bat on a soft fly ball to left field. Lowe's there, 2 down.
Came back with a breaking ball and fooled him. Got 2 quick outs.
2 down. The Orioles after a combined shutout. Norris no runs, 5 hits over 7. Meek worked an inning, had 1 walk, and now Tommy Hunter looking to finish it off. Rasmus with 2 down and no one on. He has been a problem for Hunter with the 5 for 13 and a home run. 0 for 3. Rasmus will take it for a strike. One delivery to him.
Yeah, he started him off with a get me over slider and then just buried that one.
Hunter looking to go 4 for 4 and saves. Here's the 0-2. Did he go? No.
Well, this is what Jeff Gosney down in third is looking at, and he certainly could have called him out.
That would normally be a strike.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was a perfect breaking ball right underneath the strike zone.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Ball put in the air, right center field. Going back, Markakis looking, and goodbye, home run. Oh, you're going to see that last call on the check swing. Rasmus has tied the ball game up with his 2nd career home run against Hunter, the 100th of his career, with 2 down in the 9th inning.
Well, he tomahawks this ball. I mean, up out of the strike zone. And he just goes up and gets it. Just missed one earlier in the game, and that's going to tie it up.
2 home runs and 2 RBIs for Rasmus on the year. 1 strike away from ending the ball game. Rasmus got the call on a check swing and then delivers the home run. This is the pitch before the home run. It's a discretionary call. Lowry up, and he'll foul it away. He has walked 0 for 2 with a fly ball, the ground ball out. 0-2 delivery on the way, and that 2 will be foul back. So finally a long ball delivered here in a game between two teams, so you just know at some point are going to get one. 13 homers now for Toronto, and the first blown save for Tommy Hunter. The 0-2 delivery and a swing and a miss, tag put on, and that will do it in the ninth. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. The Orioles will try and win it in the bottom of the ninth inning with this ball game tied at 1. Waiting to see, as we all are, what this thing's going to look like when it's over. It has been just like this the whole game, even Steven. Each team 1-6-0, and now to the bullpen and Todd Redmond.
Yeah, the Orioles saw him a lot last year. 6 1/3 innings, over 3 appearances. You can see has yet to give up a run. So he started, he relieved last year in 14 games as a starter and 3 relief. So a guy that you can stretch out. He's pitching late in the ball game. Pretty good changeup. Yeah, 92, 93. Not the power arm that Delabar has, or even Santos, but Tommy Hunter looking on. Again, the lefties last year, all home runs by left-handers, and first home run of this year, actually a ball about eye high.
And here's J.J. Hardy as the Orioles bat in the bottom of the ninth inning. And Redmond's pitch is outside for a ball. Hardy, a couple of strikeouts, and he is grounded out. Back in the lineup tonight, showing no signs of any problems with the bat. Pitch will be taken away, and the count is 2-0. Orioles need just 1 to wrap this ball game up.
And all he wants to do is drive a ball somewhere. If it ends up going out, that's a bonus. But hit it up the gap. And strike. Yep.
3 for 7, Hardy against Redmond. And the battle of the bullpens now with Norris and Hutchinson, the 2 starters. Non-decision. 2-1 delivery in the air to right field. Little back up Bautista towards the corner, and he'll make the running catch. 1 away in the bottom of the ninth. Tommy Hunter to himself on the.
Well, I've been there where you think you made the right pitch. Obviously we saw the check swing. He made a really good pitch. It wasn't a horrible pitch. How many guys hit balls over their heads out of the ballpark? And it was 97 miles per hour. So you can always go back and you do it, and you'll probably be doing it most of the night and think, you know what, why didn't I just do that? Well, it's just not the way it works.
Yep. 0-1 the count. Lombardozzi, and that'll go to the backstop. Lombardozzi, a base hit, could have had 2. Diaz made a fine play on him in his last at bat in the 7th inning. Aaron O'Day for the Orioles now. Again, the Orioles probably short in the bullpen with Brian Mattis having the flu. We don't even know if he's at the ballpark. Looping fly ball to left field. Cabrera And there are 2 down. 2 away, 9th inning. David Lowe picked up the base hit with 2 away in the 7th. That would lead to the RBI by Jonathan Scope and a 1-0 lead for the Orioles, only to have that go away in that 9th on the homer by Rasmus. So now Lowe will try it again with 2 away in the bottom of the 9th. Into the screen for a strike with Lowry in at third base on him. Redmond with the 0-1 delivery and a breaking ball that will miss down low. Redmond can give them innings if they need it. Coming in this situation on the road, you don't bring your closer in. Tommy Hunter will not be coming back out on the mound, having worked his inning as a closer. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Again, trying to drive that into a gap. 1-2.
Yeah, the times that I saw Todd Richmond last year, it just seems like not overpowering, but good movement. And he's got a little breaking ball, a little changeup. Start looking at some of his numbers, and 6 of those 14 starts, 1 run or less. So able to pitch pretty well at times.
Lowe keeping the at-bat alive at a ball and 2 strikes. Toronto trying to guarantee themselves a series win after the 2-0 victory in the ball game last night. The Orioles right now are 1-2 in series, so they want to rubber match tomorrow. Here's the 1-2 delivery and foul tipped, and that'll do it. So Redmond comes on, gets the strikeout, retires the side in order. Free baseball for all on this Saturday night. We go to extra innings. 1-1. In game 1 and 1-6-0 for both teams. We go to the 10th inning of the ball game. There's Darren O'Day.
Darren comes in, 4th appearance. You have to walk anybody. That's usually the norm. Can dominate right-handers. I mean, great year last year. 2.18 ERA. Average higher by the lefties. They hit a little bit over 300. With such a deceptive windup, worked on a changeup this spring with Todd Froworth, who's a scout in the Oriole organization, former Under Armour. So there you go, career in extra inning games. Came into the season with a winning percentage. Yankees, Texas Orioles, 51%. So he's better when we get to play extra innings by about 0.1%.
Diaz will lead it off. This will be his first at bat, and the pitch will be taken for a strike. Diaz hitting in the number 9 spot. Cabrera and Turris will be due up. Jonathan Diaz trying to find some offense this season, keep his spot at short. The 0-1 delivery by O'Day, and that also is in there for a strike. Orioles last year 8-7 in extra inning ball games. Toronto 8-9. For both of these teams, the first extra inning ball game this year. 0-2 delivery, and O'Day gets it in and is fouled away.
You think extra innings, you think 2 years ago when the Orioles broke that skein of 14 consecutive losing years, they win 16 in a row in all different ways. Just amazing run.
These two games have really been scratch and claw to open up this season series. 0-2 delivery to him. That'll be outside. Each team has also left 7 on base in the game. So Hunter goes an inning, a hit, the home run, 1 strikeout. Delabar worked an inning in relief with a walk and a strikeout. Whoever's on the mound at the moment now is the pitcher of record. And then he got him to chase and gets him.
Yeah, Diaz spent last year at Pawtucket a little bit over 250. Stole some bases. We saw a very good defensive shortstop or infielder. But again, you don't get to see too many guys that make these kind of pitches. Perfect breaking ball outside corner that he waves at.
And to the top of the order for Toronto. Here's Melky Cabrera. He's 1 for 4, base hit. Now has the 12-game hit streak to start the season and upping the average to 321. Jonathan Scope in a bit at third, even with the bag, and the pitch will be taken away for a ball. Cabrera's got a 2 for 5 off O'Day. Big crowd tonight, the 30,446. 30,446. And most all have stayed here on a beautiful night and seeing a great baseball game with a lot of dramatics in it. 1-1. Wind blowing out to left a little bit now. It hadn't been doing that tonight. We've had very little breeze. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Flags have just picked up.
You know, there was the changeup. Again, it just wanted to add another pitch. Maybe not use it a whole lot, but certainly let the other team know it. And really had great late life. Bottom dropped out of it. Maybe make them a little more effective against the lefties. Again, the batting average over 300 last season.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery to him, and just missed. O'Day thought he might have had that one. Doesn't get the call, and it goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So you can see, try to get him out, get him to swing at some pitches, and you can see he's able to do that, and nothing to drive. Get out of the power zone.
And the 2-2 tried to get him to chase again. Wouldn't do it. So 3-2 and Cabrera with his tourists waiting on deck. Great 2 delivery to him. That's going to go to the gap in right center field. Adam Jones going over to cut it off. Going to try for 2. Here's the throw, and he got it. Boy, what a heads-up play by Melky Cabrera. That's his call as he comes around first base.
Yeah, play right in front of you. And again, anytime you're an outfielder and you have to go to your left and you throw right-handed, you have to throw back against your body. So he tries to circle it, and then look how, I mean, he just can't get much on the throw. And meanwhile, if you're Melky Cabrera, you can see the whole play developing. And there with a double.
See how John Gibbons will play this now. As Turris, the number 2 hitter, is 0 for 4, 0 for 8 in the series. Jonathan Scope even with the bag at third. Hardy will hold the runner close at second. 1 out. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. As Torres trying to get a go-ahead run in here in the top of the 10th inning. Bautista waiting on deck. 0 for 5 in that department tonight for Toronto. Toronto hitting under 170 now with runners in scoring position. Second lowest in the American League. O'Day with the 0-1 delivery to him and a slapper. Lombardozzi at second base has it. And there are 2 down. So Bautista's had 3 hits off O'Day, and all 3 of them have been home runs. He is 3 for 12.
So as a veteran pitcher with Encarnacion, who at least this year has been struggling, came in 0 for 11 runners in scoring position, to make a decision who you want to pitch to. And it's not that you don't pitch to Bautista, you just do it on your terms.
Bautista, a couple of walks and 2 strikeouts in this game. Still looking for his first hit in the series. 0 for 5. 2 down. And that's outside. Bautista now no hits in his last 12 at bats. Closer Santos in the bullpen.
To his right, Bob Stanley, longtime pitcher, now the bullpen coach with the Jays.
O'Day trying to find the final out. Bautista takes it for a strike. Left-hander Zach Britton for the Orioles, twice up in the pen tonight. This is the second time.
Yeah, Zach already 3 times, 2 or more innings, and you also got Stinson out there. So you have some guys, even though Mattis doesn't appear to be here because of the flu-like symptoms.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Runner off third base. Bautista takes it up high. We're in the 10th. Tied at 1. The Orioles scoring in the 7th. RBI double. Jonathan Scope brought home David Lowe. Tied up. 2 down, 2 strikes, 9th inning. Home run. Rasmus. And now the Jays batting in the 10th. O'Day with a 2-1 delivery. And that's outside. 3-1.
Yeah, it looks to be a pitcher in. You can see the green little baseballs telling you either on the corner or off.
3-1 delivery on the way, and that's outside. So deciding not to challenge Bautista. That'll put runners on at first and third. Encarnacion coming up. And there are 2 down. Encarnacion in the ball game, a single his first time up. 1 for 4 in the game. He's got an 0 for 5 against O'Day.
And it's really not a bargain, but the numbers certainly support this. I mean, last year we told you about the 36 home runs. He also drove in 104 runs, and the way he did it, he hit 303 with runners in scoring position. Yet to have one this year.
2 down and 2 on. And that'll be outside for a ball.
Well, this will be his last hitter.
Yep.
You got Britton, who's dominating pretty much everybody, and you got a lefty Lynn that they can't imagine they're going to pinch hit for.
1-0 count. And that will miss. And a 2-0 count. So O'Day, while working around the strike zone on Bautista, not wanting to fall behind Encarnacion 2-0. Double by Cabrera. He's over at third now, and the walk to Bautista at first. 2-0 delivery by O'Day. There goes the bat. Leo. A wild swing, 2-1. Used to see hitters when they'd lose a bat in the crowd would always go get it because it's their gamer. He doesn't even care.
No.
2-1.
Well, the other one's not working. I mean, he goes
right.
for 11.
Give me another one.
I don't want to insult him because he's a really good hitter, but he goes, it's not working. I'll use another one. That's the deal.
2-1 delivery on the way, and that's a strike. Perfect pitch by O'Day.
Well, back to back, you go 2-0. I mean, this is what separates the guys that, they could be deceptive, but can you make good pitches? And those are 2 perfect ones. So you're back into the count.
Two delivery. Encarnacion in the air to right field. Nick Markakis, he's under it, and that's out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. 1 will win it. The Orioles will go for it. Bottom of the 10th coming up. Out, but Showalter taking a look at who's up, who's pitching. What are the chances of getting something done here to get 1 run? Jonathan Scope will lead it off. Givens leading Redmond out. He retired the side in order in the 9th inning. Scope the RBI double in the 7th for the Orioles run. Markakis and then Cruz will be due up. And Redmond's pitch, the breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. The Scope up to 250 now as he's picked the pace up at the plate since a slow start. The 0-1, a fastball. That'll gain your attention. 1-1.
Well, we've seen it all night. Fastballs in, sliders away. All those, the old Earl Weaver pitching meetings. High and tight, low and away.
And that's what he does. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count from Redmond. Right back here tomorrow with the final game of this series. And then as in Burley, that one in the air, center field. Rasmus. 1 down in the 10th. 1 o'clock for O's Extra tomorrow. 1:30 for the ball game. Valdo Jimenez looking for his first win with the Orioles. 0-2. Burley's 2-0 with a 6.4 ERA. .64. Masson 2 tomorrow. And here's Nick Markakis. Nick with a 1-for-4. Couple of hits and 8 at-bats in the series. Starts him up with a pitch down low. 2-for-6 off Redmond for Markakis. Nick hitting at .255. Redmond's pitch foul straight back.
A lot of movement. Nick looking for a ball inside middle that maybe he can put a charge into it. As I mentioned, they play him to hit the ball the other way. Usually that means you're going to pitch him that way.
And jammed him, and that's fouled straight back.
Well, when you see Nick chase pitches like that, maybe 6 inches off the corner, he's not seeing the ball. And then maybe that's why a little bit late on the fastball. And doesn't mean he's not going to get his hits, but right there, he hardly ever swings at a pitch that far inside.
Here's the 1-2 delivery by Redmond the other way. That's a base hit. Charging for it, Cabrera. Markakis is going to be held to a single, but he got one. So the Orioles one away in the 10th. Get a base runner.
You pitch him that way, and he hits it that way. And that's the only reason it's not a double, because they've shifted around. I mean, he just scorches this. They slide to the outside corner. This time, instead of up and in, it's up and away, and he's able to get on top of it.
So Markakis on at first, and Cruz up. Cruz a single, 1 for 3 and a walk in the game. The Orioles designated hitter, batting second in the lineup. And he will take the pitch for a strike. Getting a look at Redmond for the first time in his career. Right-hander giving up first base hit. This is the second inning of work for him. In the 0-1 delivery, Cruz does not go after it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Extra innings here at Camden Yards. And a great ball game where 2 great starts in this one. Norris, no runs, 5 hits over 7 for the Orioles. Hutchison, no runs, 4 hits over 6 for Toronto. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that will miss up high, 2-1.
Well, it's that hit and run count. The Orioles don't do a lot of running.
Big hole on the right side as the second baseman is Turris almost on the bag. Here's the 2-1, runner not going, ground ball toward short. Diaz is Turris, and a pick at first for 2. Orioles are gone, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the 11th, tied at 1. Entertainment. Bud Norris, a great start for the Orioles. Jonathan Scope with the RBI double in the 7th. The Orioles had a 1-0 lead. Colby Rasmuth with the solo home run. 2 strikes, 2 down in the 9th to tie it, and we go to the 11th.
And they bring on Zach Britton, who's just been lights out. There are the numbers. Couple of hits, 6 1/3 innings. Couple of walks, 4 strikeouts. The master of sinking the ball. That's what the Orioles hope he can do here in the 11th inning.
With a left-hander coming in, Lind is going to come out, and Sierra is going to come on as the pinch hitter. Now Sierra hitting for Lind to start the 11th inning. We'll get the matchup, and the pitch will be taken down low for Sierra. He's played in only 3 games, only 9 at bats, and has zeros across the board. Moises Sierra will take the pitch, and that will miss, and the count goes to 2-0.
Now you can see 0 for 9 came up late last year. 107 at bats, hit 290, 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Big kid.
Britton's delivery to him, and that is there for a strike. Zach has been outstanding. Left-handers haven't gotten anything off him, and right-handers hitting 182. 6 leadoff batters, all retired. Navarro will be on deck, and then Rasmus. And a big cut. 2-2.
Yeah, quite a combination when you get the ball to move, dive, sink like that, and also be able to throw 93, 94. He would pitch it in the mid-90s in spring training. Former starter, 11-game winner a couple of years ago.
2-2 delivery, and that goes to Hardy. Sierra's retired in the 11th.
Well, what a test for JJ's back spasms. Playing extra innings when you first start back in a week.
Probably could have done without that, but
yeah.
So it goes. Britton will now face Navarro. A single, a walk, ground out, and the fly ball out in the ball game. They face each other for the first time. 1 down in the 11th inning. Navarro will take it outside. Navarro is switch hitter, batting right-handed. He's had 15 at bats, 3 for 15. One-0 count. And the pitch is there for a strike. Clevenger getting the start behind the plate with Hutchison, the right-hander, on, and then with Burley pitching tomorrow. Buck Showalter wanted to have Wieters in. There's Matt, who's gotten the night off. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and popped him up. First base, Davis. 2 away. 2 down, nobody on, and here comes Rasmus, the reason we're here in extra innings.
Yeah, 1-2 strike up out of the zone at 97. We were saying that the ball didn't carry. Well, it carried there. Missed a home run earlier in the ball game. Just got under it.
And Rasmus has a home run off Britton. Only hit he's had, 1 for 8.
So he's hit 2 in the last 3 games. 22 on the season.
2 down, nobody on, and the pitch taken down low for a ball.
Yeah, very unusual for somebody. I was asking Kevin Seitzer, because you don't always see Rasmus as much, obviously, as a hitting instructor. I said, how about the hands where he holds it? Very unorthodox, but that's his trigger. He'll move them, and he's able to load, obviously, to hit the ball 97 over his head. But he started that the second half and was really productive. Last year the average was good against lefties, and it's 6 of his 22 home runs against lefties.
He's had 9 home runs lifetime against the Orioles. 1-1 delivery on the way to him, and Britton will miss down low with it, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Kobe Rasmus doing the damage, sending the ball game into extra innings, tying it up with that homer. Britton with 2 away and a 2-1. Shift on against him, and blew that one by him.
95 with great sink. No, we know he can hit the ball up in the zone. How about this one? Right over it. And when you're late on your fastball, no reason to throw a breaking ball. No reason to speed up the bat.
2-2 delivery to him. Rasmus will take it.
And he does.
He does.
And hangs it, but it's out of the zone.
Off-speed breaking ball, and the count goes full 3-2. If they can't hit it, keep throwing it.
Well, it's normally the way it works. And don't think that Dave Wallace and Dom Cheedy, two pitching coaches, haven't told him that.
And a swing and a miss. Came back with a heater and got him. So Britton, the strikeout, retires the side in order. Orioles, Davis, Jones, Clevenger due up. Bottom half of the 11th inning. And you take a look on this beautiful night here in Baltimore as the fans hanging in and seeing a good one. Jays and Orioles tied at 1-1. Even the young hanging on, literally. As we go to the bottom half of the 11th inning, all hoping Chris Davis can deliver a home run, which would be his first of the year, and get it over with. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. Chris with a 1-for-7 against Redmond, a home run. Seems like that's what everybody's got against every pitcher on the other team. He was going for one right there, 1-1. Chris has had a couple of strikeouts, a walk, and a fly ball out. One hit in the 7 at-bats he's had against Toronto in this series.
Well, Delabar just threw the ball by him, and Redmond doesn't throw that hard. So see how they try to pitch him, and you can see up in the zone. But 90 versus 95, a little different. So he gets into the good hitter count, and as we know, Chris can hit home runs without trying to hit home runs, just by trying to drive the ball somewhere. Tremendous strength.
And the 2-1 delivery on the way, and they stay inside, which is where they're going to work Chris. Trying to tie him up. Keep those arms from being extended. Now Redmond's given up one single to the 6 batters he's faced. 3-1 delivery. And the Orioles get the leadoff man on in the 11th.
Well, the strike zone a little bit tighter to Chris Davis. Redmond already worked 3 2/3 innings against the Yankees back on the 6th of April. Well, there's your winning run down at first.
Adam Jones coming to the plate. A single his first time up. 1 for 4 in the game. Orioles have hit into a couple double plays in this ball game.
Yeah, this outfield for Toronto plays very shallow, but not now.
No, they're back.
Yeah, they're back. And they
way back. And a ground ball to short. Diaz is Turris. Double play. So that eliminates the leadoff walk, and there are quickly 2 down. So Clevenger comes up, bases empty. 0 for 3 in the ball game. The hits have been some hard to come by in this game, in these 2 games. 2 down and fouled the other way. Clevenger wanted to play a lot of innings, backing up Wieters. You don't get many, but he would prefer to have it done over the course of a few games rather than one night. Nevertheless, 0-1 delivery on the way. Left center field. It is deep. It is at the warning track, and it is caught by Melky Cabrera. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Put that equipment back on, young man. 1-1.
In the 12th inning, 1-1 ball game. Zach Britton on for his 2nd inning. Fans still hanging around Camden Yards. Brett Laurie to leave it off. Zach Britton, who came in, a couple of grounders and a strikeout in the 11th.
So Brett Laurie at the plate. He has picked up a walk. First at bat, 0 for 3 since. Then Diaz in the 9th spot, and Cabrera, the leadoff batter, against Zach Britton. Down the line, and that will be foul.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting when you stay down by the cage and you talk to hitters and you say, well, do you ever hit a home run when you wanted to? And they said, no, but I give away thousands of bats trying to. And that's true. So again, what it comes down to is you don't try to hit a home run. You may hit one. What you try to do, and everybody talks about it, is go gap to gap. Maybe you get a pitch to hit.
Went around on that one. Home plate umpire making the call on the swing.
Yeah, you don't see too many guys with sinkers that have that kind of movement, downward movement, and also have that kind of velocity. So at 0.4 of a second, you have to discern what the ball is, recognize it, and figure out where it's going to end up. As long as you get your movement, it's pretty difficult for a guy like Zach Britton.
0-2 count. Britton stepped off for a moment on that third base side of the pitching slab, and the pitch will be away for a ball. Lowry has just a .219 average against lefties last year. Kind of surprising. .266 off the right-handers. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And he'll drive that one to second base right on top of that. Lombardozzi. 1 away, 12th inning. Well, last night, 2 unearned runs. That's all that was scored in the 4th inning for the Orioles. Shut out in the ball game, and now each team's picked up only 1, and we're playing in the 12th inning of this game. That's some pretty dominating pitching, or 2 teams where every hitter's in a slump. except for Rasmus, who delivered the home run, and Jonathan Scope, who got the RBI double.
Well, when you look at the array of arms that have pitched for both ball clubs, Tillman last night goes 8 innings, loses because of the unearned runs, but used all his pitches. McGowan hadn't won a game since 2008, and power stuff, used all 3 pitches. Same thing tonight, Norris and Hutchison, and then the bullpens come in. And they can throw the ball right by you, a variety of pitches.
Diaz on the foul ball. He came on as a defensive replacement. Strikeout in the 10th inning, and the only at-bat he had, and as a defensive replacement made an outstanding play in the 7th inning, robbing Lombardozzi of a base hit. Diaz will take it. It's there. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, he's trying to make sure that he brings the sinker up, and then Zach Britton gets the high strike. Complicates things. Count now in Zach's favor. And you go back to 2011, that led the Orioles with 11 wins.
Diaz fouls that one away.
And then the arm problems, and then the last couple of years struggle a little bit as a starting pitcher, trying to really command 3 pitches when you don't have the kind of arm strength, which is no longer the case. Hard to do.
1-ball, 2-strike delivery to him. Diaz will take it outside. Both Britton and Brian Mattis would like to be starters. They're not complaining about the job they've got, and they do it well, but both of them would like to get back to a rotation at some point. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And in the dirt. Full count, 1 down with nobody on here in the 12th. O's Extra coming up, presented by PNC. Tom and Rick, I'm sure enjoying a fine pizza as the ball game goes into the 12th. Britton with a 3-2 delivery, and he walked him. So the free pass comes with 1 away and turns the order over. Norris walked 3, Meek 1, O'Day 1, and now Britton 1. But the only run, the Rasmus home run.
Well, they
order Melky Cabrera.
Yeah, they always talk about staying in the moment, and right now you have to forget the fact that you threw a 2-2 breaking ball throwing 95 miles per hour with a sinker and let that go. You're not, I mean, it can get in your head, because that's why he's at first. Because you went away from your strength. So just go back and get back to your strength.
Cabrera takes the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Cabrera with a 4 for 6 off Britton.
It's a big zone, so you got to go out of your way to walk people tonight.
0-1 the count. Orioles have themselves picked up 4 walks in the game. Britton way outside with it, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Bullpen active. Kind of a ball game where you just want to keep somebody ready. Josh Stenson in the bullpen for the Orioles. Cabrera, then is Torres. Be due up. 1-1 delivered. Runner off first. It's in there for a strike.
So you can see everything a little bit up, and Melky Cabrera, he doesn't want this call to strike. Gets into our rectangle, and Paul Emmels
been pretty consistent.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's been a pitcher strike zone. Some umpires have bigger strike zones than others. Certainly, it's no reflection on the job he's done, because he's still out there. I mean, if we start adding up the pitches, we'll just get tired doing that. And he's had to call them.
I think his right wrist maybe hurt
arm, shoulder, neck.
Well, that call. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and a ground ball towards short. Hardy, Lombardozzi, Davis. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Bottom of the 12th. Hardy, Lombardozzi, low. The teams continue for the elusive second run as we go to the bottom of the 12th inning. Hardy will lead it off for the Orioles. 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts in his return after missing 5 of the last 6 ball games. He's got a 3 for 7 lifetime off Redmond.
And 4th inning for Todd Redmond. He's extricated himself out of problems with a couple of double play balls.
Hardy will take the strike. Redmond's longest career outing is 3 2/3 innings, which, as Jim mentioned, he did for the second time in his career against the Yankees this year.
Out of the pen, and then, of course, the starter last year. They got a long man through John Gibbons sitting out there. Well, that's what they did with Brian Mattis, because as you mentioned, they stretched him out, and he's still a left-handed specialist, so to speak, but. And the reason was for Brian is just to get him comfortable.
Driven in the air to right field. Bautista going back. Warning track looking, reaching. Oh, what a catch! Bautista hauls it in and rolls against the fence as he denies the extra base hit to J.J. Hardy.
Yeah, J.J. no doubt thinking triple here, because if it gets over his head, who knows? Playing shallow because that's the way you play. And the ball actually tails back. So he takes a straight line to where he thinks, and look at him reach back over his shoulder. And that makes the degree of difficulty even more. Terrific running catch by the home run guy. That's Todd Redmond loves it.
What a play.
He's going to back up third.
Yeah. That one driven in the air the other way. Going after it is Rasmus. Way back. Lombardozzi. He's got one off the wall. He's going to head to third base. Ball thrown in by Rasmus, and they will not get him. Lombardozzi with a triple.
Well, he's a really good fastball hitter, and that's what he gets to hit. Hardy almost the extra base hit. You can see here how many lefties don't like it down knee high in the middle of the plate. And then here's the carom we were talking about. And this is good base running. You do not get to third base if you're not thinking triple out of the batter's box. And the difference between being at third and second with one out is huge. Infield has to come in. Pressure all on Redmond and the Jays.
Lowe gets another chance to be the impact player in this game. He scored the other run in the 7th inning. A base hit there. Infield and outfield both move in. Potential winning run at third and one down. Lowe will take the pitch up high. The Orioles now with 8 hits.
Yeah, and all the outfielders are playing where they can catch a line drive and still think that they can have a play at the plate. So they're in not halfway, but they're in where they still think they can defensively help the Jays cut off the run at the plate.
1-0 count. Redmond delivers. Lowe will punch it back. 1 ball, 1 strike on David Lowe.
Now, what's the irony of this? I mean, you got David Lowe all spring long. Hit the ball on the ground, hit the ball on the ground, use your speed. They want him to hit a fly ball now.
That would get potentially get the run in.
Exactly.
Or a hard ground ball, which with the infield drawn in, of course, has a better chance of going through.
But the guy on the mound he's the one where all the pressure is.
Redmond with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Lowe waiting on it. There it is! Ball game is over! David Lowe at RBI base hit. Lombardozzi scores. The Orioles win it in the 12th inning, 2-1.
Well, for David Lowe, run scored, run driven in. Going to be a big part of the 2014 Orioles if he stays healthy because of his speed. The fact that he can do a lot of things to help you win games, and you've seen him tonight.
It'll make a winner out of Zach Britton. He'll come away with a W and be 2-0 in the year. Redmond will take the loss. The first decision for Toronto that has not gone to a starter one way or the other, and a very impressive 2-1 win. Right you are, young man. Thumbs up. Tomorrow, the Orioles will have a chance to win the series. It'll be a rubber match. Evaldo Jimenez takes the mound against Mark Burley. Coverage at 1 on MASN 2 O's Extra, presented by Geico. Our game action at 1:30. This has been a MASN presentation. Tom and Rick O's Extra, presented by PNC. Coming up right now, a happy recap on a Saturday night for Jim Palmer and our crew. I'm Gary Thorne. Adieu.